We be live. I believe.
Hello.
Looky. Lined up like little ducky.
Nice and pretty.
And look, when I'm sitting here with my chair, you can't see my portrait. That's kind of cool.
Let's see.
Uh-oh.
It did zero.
What?
You didn't
Why
even
did
notice
create a
it,
shit
Mark.
out of it?
Well, I'm disappointed now.
What happened?
You wait 13 months every month, and now
I
you
know, right?
the shit out of him.
Did you sub, Benno? I don't know. I didn't
Yes.
notice. Oh,
He may not have it turned on this.
no, I don't have my
his
preview
alert set
enabled.
up.
Fail, Marb. Fail.
Yeah, I'll turn that back on.
He was working.
I done had the shit scared out of me earlier. Old Duff over at Prater's Rejects
He still needs to go check his shorts.
got me completely unaware.
You're supposed to wait till he's doing something important like recapping anyway.
Bazinga, he said. Marmus Man is in the chat. Thank you for the biddies. Appreciate it. Good to see everybody. And Gorgio, hopefully he'll be along soon. We were going to introduce a new player tonight as well as new characters because last week we had a couple of characters go down. Unfortunately, it happens. It's Deadlands. That's why it's called Deadlands.
Jeb, don't think we ever spoke, Marb.
Jeb got better.
Did Jeb get better?
No.
I mean,
Jeb was buried right alongside Father Miguel. Two men that met in Kansas and ended up laying side by side in graves. It's kind of almost touching. It's almost romantic, isn't it?
Now, let's think about that for a second, Marbanya. We're talking about Timmons here, right?
Uh-huh.
Would he have dug 2 holes?
Well, for the second narrative, you did.
Well, maybe he used one of the craters from HG for one of the holes.
We just used a couple sticks of dynamite. Boom! Shove some bodies in and scoop the dirt in.
Probably right in the middle of the trail where he blew that tree all to hell.
No, off to the side.
Let's see, somebody
Little
was,
respect for fallen comrades.
Yeah. Moment of silence. Okay, let's go.
That might be a little bit of a problem. Made another character.
What?
I said I never made another character. Jeb is harrowed.
I know. And he's
Didn't
buried.
take a headshot.
No, he didn't take a headshot. He's buried, though. Timmons doesn't know that. He's fucking dead to Timmons, and Father Miguel is dead, too, and he just buried Jeb. And as a matter of fact, we're going to go right into this. What do you think? I think we need to get the story going. So we're going to start with Timmons and HG. Is that all right? Yeah? All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so after the encounter that took the lives of Father Miguel and Jeb Hexman, you chased down the mules and the wagons, because don't forget they ran off. They weren't too far from the scene of the incident. Returning to your fallen companions, you set about preparing a place for them to rest alongside the overgrown trail. The diggings made difficult by numerous stones buried below the surface. Shallow graves will have to suffice. With your companions buried, you move on, traveling the better part of a day. Knowing you need to remain far away from Shan Fan as you can for a few days, and neither of you being familiar with the region, you search for a secluded place to lay low, and after several miles you hear the distant sound of falling water, and soon you locate a sweetwater spring flowing from a rocky outcropping, and it's nestled deep back in a pine thicket. So for a campsite, you couldn't ask for much better than that.
How far away from
Hi,
Champagne
Steph.
are we?
You're a couple days outside of town.
Cool.
2 days out, no more than that. Welcome, Dances with Kobolds. Welcome.
Hello, Steph.
And yeah, so you guys go set about to making camp and lamenting the loss of your associates with a drink from H.G. Williker's flask.
Shit, it's
Pure
just me and
grain.
him. We set up the still. Shit on that. We get drunk.
Yeah.
Well, I take that back. Timmons gets drunk. HG already is.
Yeah.
He gets
He gets
average.
drunker.
Well, if he's trying to keep up with Timmons, he gets sober.
He's got to stop for a while to do that.
All right. Doc, we're jumping right to you. Okay. So you guys,
right.
Timmons and HG, think about some things you might want to do with some downtime, day or two of downtime, if anything at all. But give me a few minutes with Doc here. So enter Doc Fong. You've been traveling this seldom used trail for several days. You come upon the unmistakable tracks of horses and wagons, and you follow them for a few hours. When you come to the scene of a recent and bloody event, there are numerous, enormous fossilized bones fractured and scattered around a pool of coagulated blood. Searching the area, you find 2 fresh graves, telling the outcome of whatever conflict took place here on the trail. You hear thunder in the distance, and the slight wind carries a smell of spring showers. Yeah. I'm sorry, I had to get my audio turned back up over here. With the fresh graves, the right growing season, and the weather conditions beginning to look perfect, you wonder if you could be lucky enough to harvest a most rare herb, the Deadman's Trumpet. You set up your camp and begin your vigil over the graves. The promised rain soon begins to fall, and the conditions are perfect. By tomorrow morning, you should be able to know whether your vigil is prosperous. Perhaps good fortune will come your way. The following morning comes late with a dark sky. You awaken to the gray, knowing you could not ask for better weather conditions. And you don your oil duster, and you gather your small spade, stepping out into the gloom. And as you approach the graves, the unmistakable purple, almost black trumpets hang from a thorny stalk, and you know your wait has been worth it. So, very carefully, you kneel in near reverence and begin to prune, gathering the leaves into your bag. If you're careful, the plant may provide you a couple of days' harvest. Jeb.
Yes.
Your first sensation is taste and texture. That of mud caked in your mouth. The smell of wet earth fills your head. You can see nothing, but you know your clothing is soaked. It's cold, but strangely enough, it doesn't seem to bother you. Something heavy presses down on your chest, enough to force the breath from your lungs, but then you realize you're not breathing. Using all of your strength, you begin to push at the great weight upon you. Now, we're going to leave it right there for a minute. I'm going to prep the table.
I have a out-of-character question.
Yeah.
Is this the second time Jeb has been buried alive, kind of?
Sort of.
No,
Not
It's-
quite this aspect, but
it's the first time. Now, there's a rumor that he was buried alive and lived through it. Remember, that was one of his rumors.
Yeah.
you never
That's
asked.
what I'm remembering. Well, we heard rumors of that.
Yeah, if you remember, you guys talked about this that one night in the tavern in Denver. Back when Little Beaver
Yeah.
and Paloma were here. But,
And the poor old guy got stabbed in the face.
yeah. All right, we're going to reshuffle that deck. Main deck's been shuffled. And so right now, we don't have... You know, I can't really do this yet. Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can.
Quick. You
What,
just
Brad?
need to go and give the frying pan card to Jeb here, and that'll fix everything.
Why not?
What's the worst that can happen?
I'm thinking about taking an extra, given what's happened.
Claustrophobia?
No, Death Wish.
Oh. Maybe claustrophobia too. Being in a box. I guess you're not in a box, you're just kind of in a pile. Dirt.
I have
Right.
a really good. I have 2 really good cards, by the way.
I seem to really like Turncoat.
Get it again?
Yeah, like the third time. You know. The other two games, but
Okay. So, table's been initialized. We're ready to go. So, Jeb, using all of your strength, you begin to push the great weight upon you.
Not with that kind of roll.
Nope.
I was just.
It's soft.
I'm assuming you weren't really asking for one, but
You can hear the blowflies
You're really
trying to
at
get to you. So,
I heard that.
so Doc, you're sitting here kneeling, and you got your little scissors out, and you're pruning the leaves off this rare herb, knowing that you can make some great elixir with it.
Excellent. Good, good, good.
Jeb, give me another strength roll. Oh, the ground's getting softer.
should I be doing those with the wound? I'm sure after 2 days they will. No offense, Miguel. I may have gnawed on you.
I don't.
Nom,
Yeah,
nom, nom,
see,
nom,
I didn't.
friend.
I did not find anything on that. I don't know if Harold comes back completely healed, or if they come back with 3 wounds, or what. I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna leave 1 wound on you. How's that? We'll compromise.
That seems fair.
All right. So give me 3 strength rolls.
That's
Okay. Never mind. You shove your hand up, and then you're able to move it from side to side. Father Miguel, I need you to give me Father Miguel. God.
force of habit.
Doc, I need you to give me a spirit roll. And you see some movement on the grave next to this one, the one that didn't have any flowers or anything sprouting from it. And you're looking, and it looks like the ground's shifting, and you're thinking, well, it might be another one of these earthquakes, damn earth. And you kind of look around, and you're feeling. You look at the ground around you, and you don't see any movement. You look back over at the grave. About that time, a hand shoots straight up, and you just kind of step back for a second, but it doesn't seem to You know, you've been out here for a while and seen some weird shit, and you know, you're like, what the fuck? But there's a hand reaching up out of this grave.
That's unusual. I'm gonna have to go prod it with my shovel.
A second hand appears and begins to dig itself out.
I'm gonna have to poke that one with the shovel too.
Hey, who's out there? Stop
You
that!
can't even talk yet. Your mouth's full of mud. You're trying to give me a strength roll. Yep, you're trying. You can't pull yourself up out of here. It looks like somebody's trying to actually dig themselves out of this grave.
Need a dice change.
You got this little spade shovel in your hand, you know. You're just poking at it, Doc.
Yeah. Well, you gotta make sure that you see if they're attached to anything.
Jeb, give me that strength roll.
Well, at least it wasn't a double 2.
Well, no, you're doing fine. You're doing fine. So you get your other arm up out of there, and you start. If you could just get your head free, you figure, you know, oh, it's about a foot to go. Give me a strength roll. You see 2 arms now, trying to pull themselves up out of here, and the whole earth is starting to kind of mound up.
That's better.
And all of a sudden, he just erupts up out of the ground, and you see this guy. And, I mean, he's, of course, covered in mud because it's been raining, you know, since 2 a.m. And, Jeb, you stop, you spit out the mud in your mouth, you spit it on the ground, and you look up, and there's a little Chinese fella kind of back on, squatting there in the grave beside you, and he's got this little spade shovel, and he's holding it up in front of him at you.
Whoa. I mean you no harm.
That's what they always say.
You feel
Do
like
I know that
shit,
you're telling
Jeb.
the truth?
What was that, Marb?
You feel like shit.
Yeah, I probably look like shit too.
Your head's pounded. And
Boy.
I need you to give me, hang on just a second, I gotta pull this up.
Can I poke him in the chest with my spade? Make sure he's real.
But will you cut that out?
What the hell? Well, that's weird. I can't find the, must not have something loaded. Give me a spirit roll, Jeb. All right, you start to hear that whispering, that kind of low rumble, as something's trying to wrench your mind away from you, and you fight it off for a second and Doc, you're sitting there, and he looks at you, and he gets this twisted look on his whole face kind of twists up for a second, and his body shakes back and forth, and then he finally stops, and he looks at you.
Do you have control?
Think so. Oh, the headache. Oh, man. Oh, worst hangover ever.
I think it might be worse than that.
I would agree, but it feels like a worst hangover ever.
Do you routinely bury yourself in the dirt? I have seen some frogs that do that.
No, I'm afraid I did not do this to myself.
What exactly happened?
Shit. Last thing I remember we were fighting some sort of skeletal beast things. I don't know.
Ah, is it those over there? He's gonna point to the remains, the charred, exploded bones.
Yeah, that would be them. I guess my cohorts were fortunate enough to survive, except for Padre. And Jeb's head kind of hangs down, and even though he's not a very religious man, he does do the sign of the cross over his chest, and he gives a moment of silence for the Father Miguel.
Oh, I am very sorry about the loss of your friend. It looks
Well,
like there are some others who left, though, based on the tracks here.
yeah, probably my other friends, the ones that buried us.
Mm-hmm.
I guess my affliction is more serious than we thought.
Yes, it looks quite strange. I'm not entirely sure what is wrong with you, but I've heard of some things like this. Usually people don't go digging themselves out of the ground and then talking about it. I mean, if you were the mindless, dead creature, that would be one thing, but you seem to be rather intelligent. Well, other than the fact that you are covered with mud, that makes it look a little less so.
Well, I at least currently have full wits of myself.
That is good, yes.
Currently.
I can't say that won't change in the future, but
So you don't know what has exactly happened to you?
no, but I think this is the second time I've died.
Well, usually people only die once.
I
So a
know.
second time is quite unusual. I have heard of such things, though I am far from an expert.
Well, I think I've at least seen, others that are like me. I don't know much about them, but I've seen them. They kind of stand out in more ways than one.
I can smell you from over here.
Well, I was going to say, at least the mud's probably covering up some of the odor.
A little bit.
Well, and I'd say the rain is probably washing some of the mud away.
A little bit.
A little bit. Yeah, you look around, Jeb, and you realize, I mean, you can still see these great big freaking bones of these, fossil beasts that attacked you. But you see the little tent set up over here, and there's a donkey tied up. So, describe yourself, Doc.
So Doc Fong, aka Doc Fang, he's kind of a older fellow. Looks like he's probably over 50 somewhere. Exactly where, it's a bit hard to tell. He's got kind of a little bit of facial hair going on, but not very much. He's a very small man. He's about, let's say, 5'1". And he shuffles around a little bit, but despite his age, he seems pretty in good spirits and good health. And he does have a lot of various tinctures and potion type things around him. Some in his pockets, around on the saddled bags on his donkey.
You got anything to repel flies? Because right now Jeb Hexman seems to need something to repel flies. They're buzzing around him.
You have a lot of flies there.
Yeah, I'd say it's probably the smell.
You're famished.
Maybe I can find some flowers that will cover the odor.
Jeb, you are famished. You need to eat bad.
What ethnicity is Doc Fang? Is he
Chinese?
Yeah, he's an old Chinese man.
Yeah, a lot of Asians age very well.
Well, it's also his rigorous diet of strange herbs.
Chinese homeopathy.
Exactly.
So, I'm Jeb Hexman. Who are you?
My name is Shu Fong. They call me Doc Fong. Although many of the people of your persuasion call me Doc Fang, and I'm okay with that.
Well,
Mr.
I'll try not
Hexman.
to mess up your name.
Excellent. That's good to know.
That deserves a Benny. Great introduction. Jeb.
Well, it looks like it could probably be pretty easy to track your friends. This is not a very well traveled pathway.
Yeah, well, we were trying to lay low because of some business in Shanfan.
Yes, Chanfan. There's all sorts of trouble there. Nice enough location, but it's a bit more high-strung than some of the other cities up.
Can't be any worse than the Los Angeles.
I hear that place is quite strange. Not happy like some of the other cities.
Doc, Doc, give me a notice roll. Okay. Carry on.
Well, I think I should probably catch up with my friends. I'm not sure how they would take to me returning after being buried, but you're welcome to accompany me.
Oh, well, I was traveling that way anyway. That's kind of my thing. I like to travel around a lot. And I do happen to know that if by chance you are in farther south down here, down in Quan Province, I might know a fellow who might know a bit more about your condition.
Oh, well, if we could. Oh, you got any food, Doc?
Vegetables, probably.
So,
Jeb
what are you
Hexman
hungry for?
runs over to your camp and starts tearing through your packages.
Well, no need to get all crazy here.
You
Would
pull
you like
out
an onion?
smoked bacon. You got some smoked bacon, some tack in here, some hard tack, some jerky, and you just start annihilating this stuff. He's just chowing down on all your food.
Quite the appetite.
Sorry, Doc. Starving.
Yeah, okay. So Doc, continue on. You said you know a man.
Yes, I know another fellow down there in Quan Province. They're quite knowledgeable down that way in the more mysterious, sorcerous ways of life. I can't say I condone this, but everyone has their own thing. And I think this fellow, his name is Min. Dr. Min. He's an expert of this sort of occult matter. If you are what I think you might be.
Well, perhaps we will run into them, but I think first we should catch up with my friends. Hopefully
That's
they
a
don't
good idea.
take this too bad or too
Uh,
violent.
We should be able to follow the tracks easy enough. I'll assist you.
No, it'll be good to have company, at least.
I travel around quite a bit here, so I am familiar with a lot of these pathways. This one's not very well traveled, so it should be easy enough to follow.
Alright.
Came from Shanfen, you said.
Yes.
Do you know that Tam fellow?
Oh, long-eared Tam? We had
No.
a bit of a run.
Big ears, Tam.
Long ear, big ear, whatever, close enough. Yeah, strange fella.
Well, he probably could use a haircut, but I believe it's long ears that he goes by.
Big ears, Tammy. Hell, he
Big
runs
ears
Shan, fan. He owns the city.
And long-haired Tony.
Yep. Thin Noodles
He's,
Ma.
Well, if we're
Badass.
in Shanfan, if you're in there, say hello for me. tell him I'm working on that concoction he wanted. It should certainly increase his virility by at least 70%.
Well, I'm not sure we're planning on going back that way anytime soon.
Did you run into trouble?
Sorta.
Was it because you smell bad? I'm very sorry.
No, I think this kind of happened before my first death.
Ah, yes. Well, for all I know, you may not have bathed in your life.
Oh, no, I took regular baths. At least weekly.
Oh, good. And you have a nice shower here right now.
Yeah, it's just pouring to beat all hell, and you two are standing out here talking in the rain. So he's continuing to devour your food, and Doc, you realize that, you know, you're not going to have any meat for a while. You probably just have to eat herbs, but you're okay with that. But yeah, as the sun continues to rise, it gets lighter out, but I mean it's overcast, gray, and raining. So not a lot of sun, but it's pretty easy to make out the wagon tracks because this trail, if you remember, was off the beaten path. It was the old trail to Gomorrah, and so it's easy to follow the wagon tracks. But you know that if it continues to rain like this, you're probably not going to have much time.
Have much time
To
to catch up
well, I mean,
before it starts to
before
wet.
before the tracks just start to disappear into the mud. You don't know how long it's been raining.
Well, it's been raining a while. If we are to catch your friends, we should perhaps head out soon.
Yeah,
Have you
that's
had
good.
enough bacon?
I think so.
Would you like some jerky, friend Jeb?
I already ate it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Yeah, he's done went through the meat. All right, so you guys pack up your camp, and it doesn't take you much. I mean, you're used to traveling light and fast, Doc.
Come
And,
on,
what
Stanley.
if we actually leave in the hole with Jeb Hexman?
Would you have taken anything off of them, or would you just buried them as is?
Well, I'm certain that Timmons would have taken anything of like monetary
Guns.
dollar bills.
Yeah.
'Cause he's,
You probably took his shit and left him in his fine clothes in the mud.
he would have taken his clothes off for sure, and he probably wouldn't have taken his hip shooter off of him because that's kind of like a personal thing.
Yeah.
But he would have taken his longer rifle for sure.
So,
All right, so I don't have the Winchester currently.
yeah, you'll get it back here shortly. Jeb, if
Yeah,
you
and,
want your hat though,
did
you're
he
gonna.
have nice boots? Did he have nice boots? No,
Yeah, I mean, look at his portrait, Jeb
no,
Hexman. dressed pretty nice.
Timmons has brand new boots that came with his suit.
Yep. But no, your hat is down in that grave someplace. If you want your hat, you're gonna have to dig that thing up.
Oh,
Yeah.
Timmons would have taken his pocket watch.
Yeah. No need of time when you're dead, is there?
Well, the pocket watch is the Devil's Posse pocket watch.
Yeah.
You didn't want anybody to dig up the grave, get the pocket watch, and
And fake like they're members
yeah.
of the Explorers
Personally.
Society like Timmons did. Yeah, no, we don't need that.
So maybe if you move on quick enough, the flies will stay here. But no.
Well, flies can only fly 4 miles an hour, so if you jog, you stay ahead of them.
Oh, we have. Oh, wait. Does Joe have a horse here still, or did they take it with them?
they
Like
probably took Herman.
4 miles a fucking hour. Okay.
It looks like you might be missing a horse. Although I do see you have your hat. That's a nice hat.
It's full of muddy water. He's like,
I'll wash in the next river we come in.
His clothes were probably really nice clothes at one time. But now they're just fucking caked in mud.
Wouldn't be the first time.
You probably, take some time, clean your sidearm, get all the mud out of the barrel. That is, if you got a gun cleaning kit. Do you?
You just open it and go, and a little mud blob goes out the end of the barrel.
I don't think that was an actual item that I picked up. Considered it.
It ought to be. If it's not an item in here, it ought to be. Self-cleaning clothes and a telescopic lens cleaning kit, but there's no gun cleaning kit.
I probably assumes that, you would have one if you're a gun user sort of thing.
Yeah, well,
It's
there's
like a default thing. Everyone
It
needs
comes with the gun.
that and
It comes
pants.
with the gun
Yep.
and the cleaning kit with it.
Yep. So you might be able to borrow Doc Fong's Doc Fong. And so away you guys go. You pack up your camp down the trail. I'm not even going to have you roll for the tracking because, like I said, nobody uses this trail. And Doc, that's why you think it's so strange to have found these graves and just the whole chain of events the last couple hours really freaking weird to you, man. But
Very unusual.
very unusual. But you seem to take it in stride, and down the trail you go.
I remember there was once a non-unusual year here in California. I think it was back in 42 or so. Every other year it's been pretty unusual some way or another.
Life is weird in general.
It is. This
Even
is my
weirder out
donkey.
here in California.
Oh, very much so.
California.
Also, I'd like to introduce you to my donkey. His name is Stanley.
Stanley.
Jeb will gently pat Stanley's head and talk to him.
Is it Stanley or Stan Lee?
That is the mystery.
Stan
Marvel.
Lee, like the famous Stan Lee.
We got it.
Or Stan Lee, like Lee, the Chinese name.
Yeah. Okay, so down the trail you go, and you guys continue, and you spend the better part of a day traveling. It's been a couple of days, Timmons and HG. You guys been laying low. You've been brewing. HG, you've had plenty of time to stock up on your concoctions and shit, and brew liquor and do all kinds of stuff. Timmons, you've been greasing the axles on the wagons and checking the shoes on the horses and shit like that.
Let's sleeping. Timmons like
Sleeping. And, nestled up in the pines with hardly even a trail around, just this spring that's boiling water up out of here. It's been pretty peaceful, been pretty nice. You haven't had too much of this lately.
And Gorgio's joining us, by the way.
Cool. And Giorgio, welcome aboard.
Apparently he overslept.
That's all right. I've been chatting with him.
Hello.
We can see you pushing, but we can't hear your voice.
I did not hear anything, but I saw the flashing.
Oh, it would help if I turn my mic on, yeah?
Yeah, that helps.
Yeah, that
Correct.
usually helps. How's it going?
It goes. I just woke up and
Forget to set an alarm.
Did you dig yourself out of a grave too?
and well, my bed is so warm.
He sounds like you, Brad.
No, I just laid down and take a quick nap, and next thing I know,
Sleep for 4 hours.
about 6.
Isn't that what a quick nap is?
No, quick nap is like maybe an hour to 2.
20 minutes.
No, that's a cat nap.
They say go 3 hours or
Optimal
go
nap
home.
time, believe it or not.
What's that?
20 minutes or over 2 hours, as studies have shown. Proper napping.
All right. So while Gorgio gets on the table and gets ready to go here. By the way, welcome to the game, Gorgio. Appreciate it.
Hi.
So let me wrap up with bringing you guys back together here. So, Timmons, it's towards the end of probably about the third day since you buried uh, Jeb and Father Miguel. And you guys got your little camp set up. You're up here in the pines, real nice. HG's been brewing shit for a couple of days, and um, I need you to everybody here to give me notice rolls.
Seems to do it twice for me.
Yeah, the first one, naturally, you're talking, Doc. You're talking about all kinds of nice, neat stuff, and blah blah blah. HG, you hear like horse tack, a bridle or something kind of rattles, some chains, something rattle. You're all too familiar with the tack on horses. And you and Jeb kind of look up at the same time, and Jeb, you see them. You've seen the wagons up here, and you're kind of heading up, and you're like, okay, I found them. And HG, I need you to give me a spirit roll. You kind of stop, you look up, and you're like, well, shit, it's Jeb Hexman. Timmons, you hear him, you're like, HG goes, shit, looky there, it's Jeb Hexman. You turn around, here comes Jeb with some Chinese guy, some old Chinese dude, walking up through the pines up towards your camp.
Timmons reaches down and picks up the cup he's drinking out of and gives it a sniff. What'd you put in this shit? H.E. Willikers, I think you poisoned us. We seen shit.
Well, don't complain about that. Mixture might be a little off, but it seems to be working all right.
Timmons is like, wow. I'm in the spirit world. Where's Padre? Oh, Padre turned into a small Chinese man.
I hate when that happens.
Reincarnated. He got reincarnated. This is pretty nice. Hey, Jeb. Am I dead too?
I don't know. Did you get shot or maimed?
HG's been feeding me some of his moonshine.
In that case, you might be.
I lost my sense of taste about a day ago.
You've been drinking his moonshine for 2 days.
Nothing else to do.
I lost my boot. Have you
What's
seen
that?
my boot?
What was that,
Look
HG?
down, he's got old ass hot socks on with holes in them.
Did you say something, HG?
Yeah, he just may be dead then.
Well, I'm pretty sure I'm dead. But I'm not quite dead.
I
I'm
believe the
Oh,
term
I
is
bet.
you got better.
So, did you see your family when you were in the spirit world?
I didn't go to the spirit world.
That's
I think
not where we at.
Padre did.
Hey, Timmy
No.
gets up.
No, I think you're just very, very, very drunk. Like HG level drunk.
If we were in the spirit world, you sure the hell wouldn't smell like that no more. Whoa, dog. You smell like a bed of violets died.
Yeah, well, Doc Fong here says that once the weather dries out, or the weather stops raining and whatnot, he can draw some herbs that'll make me smell better.
Well, hopefully, you do smell quite horrendous.
Well, I tell you
It's
what,
quite impressive, actually.
that spring over there will clean all that muck off you and make it look like you smell better anyways. I got some soap over there. He points over to like a little shower station they have set up.
Yep.
Well,
Yep, your clothes are. But you probably got extra clothes in the wagons here.
yeah, I do.
and meat.
But I probably would still watch. I probably would still watch the clothes though.
So I know for a fact that you weren't breathing and you had no heartbeat
I still
when I
don't.
put you in the ground.
I still don't.
All right, I'm drawing a spirit roll. All right, you got
You're drunk enough to survive it. You're like, yeah, that's kind of spooky, but I'm too drunk to do anything about it. So
You're too drunk to care,
Well,
right?
Timmons thinks he's already been to hell and met the devil. So
It's very
somebody
possible.
coming
I have.
back from the dead.
It's entirely possible I have and just don't remember it.
well now, and you guys were all, except for Doc Fang, you guys were all at the mission when you met up with Father Miguel, and you saw those guys that they were in a lot worse shape than Jeb is here. Jeb still looks. I mean, you don't really see any skeleton.
Mostly together.
Yeah, he's mostly together, but his skin is very pallid.
Maybe the father's just cursed. Everyone that was born them just comes back.
All right, I think you need to eat the mic, HG, because you're even quieter than before.
I think you need to turn your master sound up, Veno, then turn everybody else down.
My sound is all the way up.
Really?
Even he's all the way up.
Deaf as a doorpost. And you ain't even 35 yet, are you?
What?
What? Loud rock and roll? Huh?
What do you say?
No, I've always had, or I had hearing problems when I was younger, so.
All right. And Gorgio, you with us? Or are you still kind of getting woke up?
I drank a cup of coffee already.
Gotcha. Cool. All right. So as you guys get reacquainted at your camp here, Jeb, you're changing clothes, taking a shower, getting your gun clean, maybe talking to HG about getting some liquor, because for some reason you just need some of his stuff, some of his hooch, man. It's really, you grab a hold of one of his jugs and you just turn that thing up. Kind of
Tastes like water.
helps.
You sure you made this, HG?
Pretty sure. I mean, you can't be positive these days.
He takes a sniff and he's like, well, it smells like your stuff, but it tastes like water. I mean, you saw me just chugging it, right?
Maybe you developed good taste while you were down there.
You mean the 3 foot under?
Hey, fellas, I found my boot.
And some hard rocks. You can't expect an old man like me to dig like 6 whole feet.
No, of course not. That's why you had the strapping young Timmons to help you.
And dynamite worked a little bit too.
You've been slacking. It's a good thing you're back.
Well, maybe next time you think I'm dead, don't bury me right away.
I think we're gonna put you up like a scarecrow. This we're just gonna keep to keep the flies away. It's a fly crow. No, it's scare fly.
I don't know. He seems to attract quite a number of flies. It's quite impressive.
I know what we need. We need a whole bunch of bunch of spiders. That's what he needs. Then they can eat the flies.
Yeah, that'll help when I go walking into town.
Bunch of cobwebs all up in your business.
Yeah, that's
Just a
something you're
swarm
gonna
of
have.
spiders.
That's something you're gonna have to deal with too, man.
Spiders or
No,
stench?
no, just walking into town.
Yeah, I know.
I think you need to change your from being a marshal to being a manure dealer. Then you kind of pass.
Or maybe an undertaker? Traveling undertaker.
Even undertakers got like some senses non-stink. They smell like dead people. You smell like rotten carcass. Timmons gives him a
What,
smell.
what,
Kind of.
what do you think dead people smell like?
Dead people smell like formaldehyde.
How about one that hasn't been interred at by an undertaker? Actually, I'm not
Like
sure if
dug
it
up from the ground and rotting for about 2 weeks. That kind of
Yeah.
dead person? Yeah, that's what you smell like. Ooh. He smells like a kid. Just the
Jeb
mules
just-
kind of stay away from him. What does your horse think of you? Is your horse like, you're not getting on me?
Yeah, he's avoiding me.
All right,
Your
I
horse
think
was
you're
sad, Jeb. Your horse was really sad. I don't even think he's in Eden.
Perhaps it's because he was close and he smelled this Jeb. That smell would ruin one's appetite.
No, it's because he got to hang around with my mules. I'd be sad too. Those are mean mules.
yeah, you might
Well,
want
at
to keep
least
the
now we have
donkey
a-
away from him.
Have you considered singing to them at night? That might
Jeb
calm
has
them down.
Jeb has an affinity for small donkeys.
All right, someone else to keep away from the
My
donkey.
mule
then, too.
Jeb. My mule Jeb, not Jeb, but Jeb.
Oh,
Oh,
what?
Jim,
Oh.
It's
Jim.
spelled different.
What? And yes, this time I am mocking your stutter, your lisp.
You making fun of me?
Yes.
I promise I won't tell nobody you stink. I just wear a bandana.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna have to tell anybody. Hopefully,
Those
Doc
are the
Fong
two
here
over.
can help with the stench. I'm sure the bathing and getting the muck off is helping some.
So what's our plan? What's our character's plan? I mean, we're gonna hang out here for how long? I mean,
That's
Well,
a good question.
it continues to rain and pour. And it's not at all comfortable, especially with now that Jeb's here, you guys in the wagons. It's like this ain't working. I mean, you
we
know,
have like tents and tarps and stuff that we've put out.
Yeah,
I mean, we
Jeff,
have a
just go sit in the
full-
rain by yourself.
you do.
I mean,
but
it's still pretty miserable. It's
Yeah.
probably leaking. And
it's miserable,
dripping and-
leaking, dripping, everything's muddy, and you guys are like, you know, didn't you? As the rain falls harder, Timmons kind of remembers passing a small farm on the way out. There was a barn
I
or
seen
two.
a cow.
And, perhaps they'll let you wait it out in the barn out there or something, you know. And it can't be that much farther back up this trail. So I'm gonna leave you guys with that. You kind of start packing up camp, and you're like, we're gonna go see if we can't stay in a barn.
See if we can get see if we can get our mules dry. They're looking pretty miserable.
Yep, pretty miserable.
And look, my hands are all webbed like I've been fishing all week.
That's from whiskey. Albert,
Yes, sir.
did you read the little bit of history I posted to you?
I did read.
Okay.
Your guy's got a porn mustache, huh? Cool.
He does. Ah, yes, he does.
Handsome devil. So, Albert, your wagon's loaded, and you leave Shanfan knowing what you need, but not where to find it. Okay, so obviously, this could be an extended excursion. You've prepared yourself as best you could. So you prepared yourself as best you could considering the time constraints needed to get out of town before the sunrise. So you crack the reins and the buckboard surges. You hit the ever triumphant trail at the north end of Shanfan just as the eastern sky begins to glow. Starts out as a beautiful day, sun shining enough to knock the chill off the Northern California spring morning. But by midday, the skies to the west begin to darken. The best you can hope for is a quickly passing spring shower. Being caught without shelter when a big storm blows in off the maze is the last thing you need. You pass numerous farms, though none seem to have what you're looking for. Finally, you meet a passing farmer hauling a load of lumber. Asking for specifics, you learn that a trail turns north into the hills a bit further ahead. It's not much of a trail, seeing little use these days, as it leads to the old town of Gomorrah. However, there is one farmstead a couple miles up the trail, the Conway place, the farmer tells you. He tells you that and then says you can find what you're looking for there. If you remember what you're looking for.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
What are we looking for?
True to his word, the farmer has directed you to a small family farm. Simple home erected with 2 barns, one of which seems to be in great state of disrepair. A woman, and what is most likely her son, open the door as you pull up the lane. The rain begins to fall heavier, which could be, in your mind, a good thing. The woman introduces herself as Cheryl Lynn Conway. The boy is her 10-year-old son, Jamie. She appears standoffish at first, but quickly warms to your arrival. She tells you there's plenty of room in the old barn, or in the barn, if you'd like to wait out the weather. Jamie, on the other hand, is surly, quiet, and possibly a little suspicious of you. Cheryl Lynn tells you to get squared away in the barn, and then Jamie will help you with your horse. She'll have supper ready in a little while, and you're welcome to join them. So you're thinking, this is perfect. You seen the farm, you seen the pig pens. You're like in the barn, got your buckboard wagon. You could put your horse away, and in the middle of the night, kind of take care of what you need to. So you're thinking this is perfect. So you get squared away, and you go in and you sit down and you start to have a meal with these folks. About an hour or so later. All right. As the rain falls harder, Timmons remembers passing a small farm on the way out. There was a barn or two. Perhaps they'll let you wait out the storms, roof over your head, room to stretch your legs. Soon the little home place comes into view through the torrential deluge. It is nearly dark when you pull up the lane and into the front yard. Now, inside this house, the Conway house, Albert, you and Jamie kind of look at each other at the same time, and you can definitely hear the creaking wheels of a wagon and the tack from the harnesses, a familiar sound to all of you guys. And Cheryl Lynn Conway says, "Well, it's a busy night. Were you expecting somebody?" And she looks at you, Albert, as she says this.
No, I'm not expecting anyone anytime soon. What is this?
Yeah, Jack, Jack. Yeah, mule. Yeah, Jack. Yeah, mule.
Yeah, you hear this guy talking to his mules, and Cheryl Lynn goes to open up the door, and you see Jamie, the little 10-year-old boy. He kind of sidles over here, and he gets this shotgun. It's bigger than he is. And but it's the same shotgun that he met you at the door with when you showed up. It just looks odd in the little feller's arms like this. And as you walk over to the door behind Cheryl Lynn, she opens it, and you can see a really strange kind of rig. There are 2 wagons. They look almost like carnival wagons or something that you would have seen, traveling Wild West shows in and stuff. And they're being pulled by these 2 great big fucking mules. And then you see
There's 4 mules.
4 mules. And then you see some other person's riding a donkey, and somebody else is riding a horse. And I don't know, HG, I don't know if you're riding a horse or a wagon or what.
I usually ride in Timmons' wagon.
But
Jeb would probably hang on to the back of the wagon or something. Try to keep the smell down.
Yeah. So that's what you see pulling up into this little farmyard.
I will sit there and watch them. Have my hand in my coat pockets with the hammer on one of my Colts pulled back. Just
Okay.
because I don't know who these people are, and seeing what I have just almost, well, seeing what I have, trying to dispose of. Who knows what shit.
All right.
Shit's about to get interesting, I think.
Yeah. So you see these guys pull up. Timmons in the doorway of this little house, this little farmhouse. UNHG from the front of the wagons here, the front buckboard of this wagon, you can see a woman standing there. The light's on behind her, and she's holding a lantern out in front of her, like a kerosene lantern. And she hollers at you, "Who's there?"
It's Timmons Simmons. We don't mean you no harm.
"What can I help you with, Mr. Simmons?"
We wondered if we could rent your barn and get out of this rainstorm that's been going on for 2 days and 2 nights and 3 days. We forgot how long. It's been raining so long.
She kind of chuckles, and she's like, "Step up here in the light where I can take a look at you."
Give me a minute. Let me park my mules and lock them down. So Timmons, remembers to set the brake like he didn't last time. And they ran off.
Yeah. Well, I think he was worried about hiding behind the wagon more than anything. Okay. So you lock the brakes. Any of you other guys going to go up to the door? You just going to hang it?
I'll join him.
All right. HG
my
and Jeb
name's
hang
Timmons,
back.
and this is my new friend Doc.
New friends.
Hello.
Well, it seems
And
to
out
be a
there
night
on
of
the
new
wagon
friends.
is my buddy HG Willikers and my other buddy Jeb Hexman.
Well, seems like there's a lot of strangers on a road that's not busy anymore. But y'all are welcome to the barn. I'm sorry I didn't fix enough for everybody else. You'll be sharing it with this gentleman. And she motions over her shoulder, and standing behind her is a guy that looks like...
He's about 6'3", roughly 52 years old. He's wearing a nice black Stetson hat. He's wearing a 3-piece suits. He's pretty damn good looking for being older, and he does have a very thick black moustache. You can tell, and he does have also has a cane, a nice black and white cane with him.
Does he actually have a limp, or does he just have a cane?
So far, you've only seen him standing. You haven't seen him walk. Yes, it is a very thick, manly mustache.
What's your name, fella?
I don't give people names without knowing theirs. What is yours?
Well, like I just told the lady, I'm Timmons Simmons. That's H.C. Willikers. That's Jeb Hexman. And this is our new friend, Doc Fong.
Chinaman, huh? My name is Albert Swearingen. I see that you are on the road as well.
We're trying to get out of the rain.
Yes, the barn is a pretty nice barn. If the madam allows it, I suppose you may stay. Just don't go digging through my stuff, or there will be problems.
We ain't digging through nobody's stuff. We just here to get out of the rain. But just in case we accidentally go through some stuff, what exactly is your stuff so we make sure we don't go through it?
This is, what is mine. Don't go through it. You will see the cart. And better chance, maybe you should sleep outside anyways.
Oh, you have a cot. We ain't going through nobody's cot.
There's a wagon.
We'll make a deal with you. You stay out of all of our wagon, then we'll stay out of yours.
And he will look up and down at your wagon, size you up, and he says he'd call that cute.
Well, wait till we get it all expanded out. It's a Winnebago then.
Maybe
rather cold and rainy out here.
Well, maybe you should just be on your way. I don't think you will fit. Yeah, I don't think you're wagon will fit into the barn anyways.
Well, I'm sure it will fit in somebody's pocket if that's a matter of inconvenience. I got some money.
And we'll look over at the lady and I'll say, I have a bad feeling about them.
Say $100, Dad? He pulls out a wad of cash. Looks like it could be about 10 G. Flips out $100 bill.
I will also push into my pocket and pull out a big old wad of cash. It looks like 12.
Mama,
Doc Fang's gonna
They're
reach
bank
into
robbers.
his pocket and pull out a leaf.
I'll leave. You guys hear the little boy goes, Mama, they're bank robbers. And you turn around and he's got the shotgun. He's pointing at all of you guys. And she says, well,
We ain't robbed no bank.
this is rather unusual.
I come from a wealthy investment portfolio, whatever that means.
Jeb kind of pokes his head around the corner and says, I'm a sheriff. Trust me, we are not bank robbers.
And when you say sheriff, you can see.
Former sheriff.
Rock back on his heels a little.
Cheryl Lynn sees you poke your head around the corner, and you see her eyes kind of widen a second. She looks at you. Mr. Hexman, was it? Are you feeling well, sir? And she kind of holds her kerchief over her mouth, like she doesn't want to breathe whatever is ailing you.
Our friend's got a case of swamp rot.
No, it's just a medical condition. Don't worry, it's not contagious.
Well, nonetheless, if you gentlemen will excuse us now, we'll finish our meals, and Mr. Swearingen can join you shortly. You're welcome to the barn. Thank you. Good night. And she closes the door and bolts it. You can hear the bolt slide behind.
And I'll tell the lady they have a Chinaman with them.
Fuck. So, Albert, as the night goes on, you, as you're eating dinner, as dinner continues, there's some cross chat between the mother and the son, whether or not he finished the chores, and she says, well, I don't want you messing around that old barn. And he tells you that, let's see, I can close that. And give me a moment. So, the boy warns you not to go into the old barn. It's dangerous. Could collapse at any minute. And he says, but Paul will repair it soon. Give me a notice roll there. It's whatever your notice is on your sheet. Be on your, which tab, fellas? Help him out. Don't forget, Engorgio's getting baptized with fire tonight.
Traits
tab.
Traits tab.
Notice. Where the fuck?
Oh,
Damn.
Bam. Yeah, so...
anything over 4 is good.
Yeah, 4 is a success, usually, unless there's a penalty or a bonus. So, when he says Paul will repair it soon, you see that Cheryl Lynn kind of becomes visibly upset at this, though she tries to hide it.
I'll look at the young boy and will say, I understand, and if perhaps he doesn't come by tomorrow, if I'm still here, maybe I can have a go at it and check it out myself.
No, I'll take care of the barn. Pa will. You just stay away from it, he said. And
Yes.
And you can see that it kind of upsets him, visibly upsets him a little bit. Bigger, Jeb. more wounds on you, and you are not bleeding out. Somebody's got last stand on them.
Would have been gone by now.
Yep, those are gone.
Unless presumably if they're next to McGill still.
Technically, wouldn't the thing still apply since we haven't pulled a Joker?
I think it says within 6 inches or whatever.
Oh, okay.
So unless you're still standing on McGill's grave, I think you're out of his range.
So that's why the dead man's trumpet or whatever it was bloomed.
It bloomed on the grave next to yours. Didn't bloom on yours.
No, I was meaning on his.
Yeah, and when he pushed his way up out of this grave, Doc Fong, much to your dismay, it pushed dirt over onto this dead man's trumpet, and you thought, well, that just ruined that, so you just pulled it up, roots and all. You harvested everything you could off of it this day. It would have killed it, but that's something that most herbalists would have never seen, and you can make some great thing out of this. But anyway, so you finished dinner, Albert, and she says, well, I hope you find it dry, if just the least bit comfortable. Have a good evening to you, Mr. Swearingen.
You too, ma'am. And young sir. And we'll make my way out to the barn.
All right.
And we'll, knowing that these Kratons are still out there, we'll have my hands, of course, still in my pocket with the gun cocked, essentially.
All right, so the barn door's open. And in walks this guy that was in there eating dinner with the lady.
Timmons is in his boxers, and his boots, and his holster.
You walk in, you get a whiff of Jeb Hexman, and you.
Oh, and his handkerchief.
Sorry, it's just trapped gas.
Something must have crawled up your ass and died, Jeb. That's awful.
Well, no, nothing crawled up my ass, but I am dead.
I think you got better.
Sorta.
I think he's somewhere in between dead and not dead.
Like living dead.
Well,
The living dead.
what the Padre could do to people, because that's what he did. He gave you some kind of.
I don't think this was the Padres doing.
Well, I seen him do it. He bent over you, and then the next thing I know, you getting up. He said some prayers.
I think it may have just been coincidental.
And it was coincidental that he was inside of a complex with about 20 of these looking at you, these things.
I say maybe he doesn't mean to do it. Maybe it just happens. Or
He's accidentally
he'll be cursed.
bringing people back from the dead.
It's not kind to speak ill of the dead.
Well, that's very nice. You can say that if anyone insults you.
Well, I tell you what, if he shows up tomorrow, then we got some words to have.
No, I'm pretty sure he's joined his lord.
Does that mean we're cursed now too?
Maybe.
I'm still
Remember
hanging
when
around. Probably.
Remember when we got the doctor's bag? That place?
Maybe it's that Paloma woman's doing.
Dead body under the porch? That place?
She was a medicine woman. I mean, so she could have easily cursed us for some reason.
Well, yeah, but if the father
I blame it on little beaver thing.
brought back him, now he's following us.
Who's following us?
You're.
Well, do you want me to leave?
I don't care, but I was saying maybe it's got to do with the curse.
Have you checked for curses?
Not familiar with any curses, or not many anyway.
Exactly how do you check for curses? Timmons looks around. Like,
Very
looks to jab up and down a little.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
turn your head and cough, Jeb. Turn your head and cough.
Jeb
Nope.
coughs and just some dust comes up.
He ain't cuss. He
Oh,
might have
but
a
he
hernia though.
does have quite bad breath.
Hey, smells better than his ripeness.
There are many odors about you, and very few of them are pleasant.
Hey, maybe AC Willikins can brew up some chemicals. Like, maybe if we just fill him full of what's that stuff we found? Formaldehyde.
And as I walk in, I'll look around and take stock of the party and the smell and the disgusted. You can tell that he is obviously disgusted as somebody in here smells. And you say, is it you or is it the pig?
I think the pigs smell bad.
There's a torrential downpour. Perhaps you go outside and bathe. Maybe all of you.
I had a bath earlier, and I know it's me, so it's part of my medical condition. Don't worry about it.
It's stichiosolosis.
Sure, let's go with that.
Disgusting.
Awesome.
I seen when we was in San Fran, they had these little tree-shaped things that smell like pine needles. We need to get a couple of them and hang around your neck.
Just somebody needs to bathe you, scrub you down.
No, it's. I've had a bath. It's due to the medical condition.
Bacon.
Medical condition. I don't believe. See, I don't think. I smelled dead bodies that smell better than you do.
Really? Funny.
He shoots pretty good though.
So do I, but I shoot better than you do.
I don't know about that. I can hit the whole side of the barn at once. Double barrel shotgun. I don't have to aim very well. I just gotta point in the general direction, and I usually kill shit.
Speaking of firearms, Timmons, I'm assuming you took my Winchester when you buried me.
Yeah, it's over there with the rest of your stuff. We were gonna send it to your family, but we don't even know who your family is.
I think all my family's dead.
Just address it to Jeb's family, Kansas.
Well, that's why we didn't bother cleaning it up. Sorry about that.
It's all good.
All right, so I tell you what I'd like to do here. We're going to run an interlude.
How about
Like Impala?
Actually, I was going to suggest an intermission.
We're going to do an intermission here in just a minute, but first things first. So I would say in character, Albert wouldn't be open to this quite yet, but I want the other four of you guys to each roll roll me a d20, and the lowest number wins or loses, depends on how you look at it.
Do you want me to do it as well?
No.
Oh, somebody rolled a 20.
Both exploded.
So the lowest number is a 6.
Well, I don't understand. How do you roll a d20 and get a 31?
Holy shit! Holy shit! HG Willikers.
They're set to explode.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tabletop dice are set to explode. So Tim, you with the
let me
6.
20, 20, 20.
Well, I didn't have it set to explode. How do you do
rolls
that?
at 6. You
No,
have
I've got it set to explode in the.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, so let me tell you about an interlude. Shit. All right. So interludes are tales the players tell in character to roleplay, enhance a long travel scene, or reveal the secrets and backstories they've put so much effort into. Okay. So when we use these rules, interludes give players a way to get to know their characters, reveal some of their backstory, and even add to the world you're all building together. The basics. Players tell a story from their character's point of view and are rewarded with a Benny. Okay. So So we're going to take a break here in just a couple of minutes, but Timmons, you got the honor, if you so choose, to, just tell us a story about something in your past.
This one time when I was in band camp. And,
I don't think that's what he meant.
So I was moving this lady from St. Louis. Her name was Granny Smith. She's an apple dealer, and we came across these two fellas. They said they were explorers, and they had a boat, and they invited me on the boat, but I didn't go. And it turns out them fellas were famous. One of them name was Lewis, and his brother's name was Clark. It was famous.
You're so full of shit. That was 80 fucking years ago, almost. Well, 70 years ago.
They were really old. They were like 110.
Somebody was
115
fucking
years
with
old.
you. How much did you
Didn't
pay
one
to
of them
ride on that boat?
mysteriously die?
Well, anyway, after I gave them money for their explorations, Granny Smith told me the same thing. But anyway, because she died on the way there, and I got all her stuff, and I bought into this silver mine out near St. Louis, and it just so happens that everyone else except for two people died, and I got a big share of it. So I get money sent to me every month from that, and that's that. And then we developed a detective agency named Devil's Posse, and I show them the
Pocket watch.
watch. It's got the pocket watch. Has got the emblem on it.
Oh, that's a very dramatic name.
And so we go around and investigate in certain things. And when we got this hand fan, we got to become extraordinary members of the Explorer Society.
Oh, there's a name sounds familiar to you.
And my head will, my ears will perk up a little bit when you.
And I show my ring off. It's real too, not like the other one. Timmons looks around. And so we got into a little dispute with some people in town that knocked over the lantern and burned the whole city down. They blamed it on H.D. Willikers. So that's why we out here laying low for a little while until the embers die down in Shanfan.
Wasn't that the fire of Chicago?
It's Miss
And-
O'Leary's cow. Not the Devil's Posse,
No.
A.G. Willikers.
So quick to recap, did they essentially burn down this Explorer
No, I think
Society?
that
Okay, well, you would have been familiar with this too. So, about 4 nights ago or so, the entire southeastern section of Shanfan, which is called, and I don't know that I've,
Red Lantern District.
yeah, but let me share this map with,
Wasn't it the skids that caught on fire?
yeah, the skids.
No, that was later. Oh, you're talking about that one.
The skids, yeah.
Yeah, we just burnt down the one building. Not to be outdone, I took care of several.
Yeah, I need something to drink bad, so I'll be right back.
Well, we are going to take a break with that. Timmons, I'm going to give you another fate chip for telling that story. And let's see, Champagne. Yeah, the skids in Gorgio, right down there. You would have heard about this. This whole section of the town, probably about a third of it burned down. And so these guys basically just told you that they're the ones who got blamed for that, and they've had to leave town. So you might just add that to your little, portfolio of knowledge. But with that, we're going to take a quick break. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'll say no. That's cool. I'm not going to mention that I know anything about that, but just say interesting.
Yeah. So things are going to start cooking here pretty quick. You guys take a bio, get something to drink. But you guys out there on the stream, stick around because things are about to happen here. So maybe I don't know.
Nothing ever goes well with scary abandoned farmhouses.
All right, so Timmons gets another chip. It's not a scary abandoned farmhouse. There's a lady and her son lives here. Anyway, we'll be right back.
Well, it still seems like a scary farmhouse.
Grinning down through the gates, watch the night suffocate all the light as it smothers the sun. I can tell by the moon you'll be joining me soon as a guest in my fortress of fun. And I can't wait to see you and once again free you, release from your humorless air. Someday I will replace that big frown on your face with a smile and a murderous glare. We are two of a kind, violent, unsound of mind. You're the yin to my yang, can't you see? And if I were to leave, you would crumble in grief. Face it, bats, you'd be lost without me. You'd be lost, you'd be lost. Face it, bats, you'd be lost without me. I'm just trying to show you just how well I know you. I understand just how you feel. Through your reason, no way, 'cause you had one bad day and your mind let go of the wheel. Still we're fated to battle, you pout and I prattle. Don't you ever tire of this game. But you'll not make it end, 'cause I'm your only friend. We are opposites, but we're the same. We are two of a kind, violent, unsound of mind. You're the yin to my yang, can't you see? And if I were to leave, you would crumble in grief. Face it, bats, you'd be lost without me. You'd be lost, you'd be lost. Face it, bats, you'd be lost without me. We have so many wonderful stories. I have studied the mind of this bat. A hero with no praise or glory, just his cape and his cave and his two of a kind, violent, unsound of mind. You're the yin to my yang, can't you see? And if I were to leave, you would grumble and grieve. Face it, bats, you'd be lost without me. You'd be lost. You'd be lost. Face it, bats, you'd be lost without me.
We're back.
Ahoy, hoy.
Hello there.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
Hello, Governor.
Hello, Governor.
Oh, speaking of which, there is one important detail I forgot to mention. Doc Fong wears a derby.
Oh, yeah? That's important. Does it billow?
What?
No.
Derby is a hat, Marb.
Yes, I know.
It could billow. Could be a billowing derby.
Pretty sure those are stiff hats.
Could be a whirling derby.
Only if it's really windy.
That's a whirling dervish.
Okay. All right. So, Albert, you kind of take in some of their conversation. The night goes on. You guys eventually, some of you start to curl up in the hay over here, but at least it's dry. And about 10 o'clock, everybody starts to kind of settle down. Is there anything anybody wants to do on this night before we pass the time?
Well, does Jeb actually need to rest? I'm thinking probably so. Maybe.
And did you say it's still raining?
Yes, it is still raining outside. Been raining for 3 days now.
I will look over.
This is already asleep.
He's determined to sleep already.
Yeah, he has a
hindrance.
A hindrance, heavy sleeper. If he sits still too long, he's out. And he's hard to wake up.
I'll pull out a cigar, light up a cigar, and I'll start drinking some. Because that's what he likes to do.
Whiskey and a cigar. Nice. So there's your answer. It's still raining.
Thanks, Doc.
Ask and you shall receive.
Oh, sounds good though. All right, so everybody kind of drifts off. Albert. 11 o'clock, 11:30 rolls around. You're pretty sure everybody's kind of snoozing away.
And I'll make sure, just double check, walk around, see if anyone wakes up. And if they don't, then I'll go to the back of my wagon and pull out the package, if you will.
Okay. So you slip out into the rain.
Now. I'm not sure any of us swing that way, pulling out your package.
Not that that's package.
It's an awkward time with it being so cold and rainy.
The package that is in the back of my wagon. It's should I describe it at all, or?
No, because before you get to the wagon, you hear some noise coming from the other barn, the one that's all dilapidated, about half rotten, falling down.
Uh-oh. Then I will go up to H.G. Willikers and Jeb and try to kick them a little bit. I'll go to all of them except for and this is just being Albert's, except for Doc Fong, and tried to wake all of them up.
What's going on?
There's some noises coming from that barn over there. Told us not to go near. I have a bad feeling about this.
Damn it. Timmons gotta pee. He gets up. What's going on?
There's some noises coming from that barn that that little kid told us not to. It's Have I heard these noises before?
Sounded like some metal and maybe some, but it's raining so hard it's hard. But you thought you heard like something breathing heavy and deep.
Is there any light coming from that area?
You guys kind of peek over there, and you do see there's a faint light, very faint light glowing from inside that barn.
I think he rented out of the barn out to a big heavyset fella. Maybe one of them Chinese ogres.
Maybe. Why don't you guys go and scout it out? I'll be behind you.
Timmons puts
It's
on
devils,
his,
is it?
his leather coat over his boxers and boots. Straps on his 6-shooter and picks up his shotgun. I'll go over there, see what's going on. So Timmons sneaks over there.
You hear Timmons, or you don't. You see him kind of head out in the dark, and next thing you know, you don't see him anywhere.
Some voodoo magic.
Mr. Hicksman, do you think we should go help your strange friend there? I believe his name is Mr. Timmons.
Yeah, because if we don't, he's going to get into trouble.
Or is it Mr. Simmons? You put your names backwards here.
You're thinking of the Japanese. I don't think the Chinese do that.
Oh,
I
it's
couldn't
Timmons.
think-
It's Timmons Chinese as well.
No.
No.
Okay.
Well, it
So
could be some sort of bear, perhaps.
and listening to them, he'll get tired of this and say, "Come on, you can follow me. I'll kill the biggest one there is," and won't even try and stop it. We'll just and walk on over with my guns cocked.
If it is a bear, if you could save the liver for me, I have a recipe.
Very well.
For hair tonic?
For a variety of things.
All right, so you guys come over here, and Jeb and Albert, give me notice rolls.
I'm coming too.
Visual?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to also do a notice roll?
Yeah.
I don't hear shit.
Yep. What? Yeah, Doc, you and Jeb, you can see Timmons. He's blends in so perfectly with the night over here, and he's kind of sneaking around. He's getting ready to look inside this torn down piece of building. Now, this wall right here is about 4 feet tall or so. The bottom half of the wall in this barn is stone, and then above it's wood. You figure this barn is a good, much older than the house. It's probably 100 years old. This is probably built, when the Spaniards were here 100 years ago. But Timmons, you come creeping around and you look inside, and you see kind of from a side angle from the back this.
The Daddy.
Yeah,
It looks like some shit
it was supposed to be
that makes
unidentified.
moonshine that H.G. Williger's made.
And you see it's kind of bent over something, and it's got a hose running off the back of it into what looks like a barrel. And every now and then you see a puff of steam come up out of the back of this thing, out of this smokestack on the back, kind of.
And does it? And does it look like it's like been here a while? I mean, like it's built in kind of thing, or does it look like it's got suitcases?
Hurry up, Pa, and get everything quiet.
And I hear that boy's voice.
Yep. You hear the boy's voice. And from behind this thing comes this 10-year-old boy, and he's carrying that great big shotgun. He's wearing his night clothes, but he's got his hat on to kind of protect him from the rain. And you see he's whispering to this thing, and the thing looks at him, and you see it kind of turns its head, and it bends over, and it takes its finger, and it starts writing in the dirt floor of this barn. And you see the kid looking at it and reading it, and he goes, "Yeah, yeah, just hurry up."
There's a mechanical thing in there, Jeb, and the boy is talking to it like it's his paw.
Oh, that sounds perfectly normal. No,
I didn't know you could have babies if you're a robot.
Give me those stealth rolls, boys. Holding the conversation out here.
Would I have?
10 minutes of sign language. Watch this.
Would I have seen perhaps Jeb walking over since I didn't see Tim?
yeah, you probably would have
Yeah,
seen Jeb.
you've seen
or
him by
Creep.
now. You've seen him by now over there, and you see him kind of talking to each other.
I'll head on over to.
All right, let's see.
And he is not trying to be stealthy. He does give a
Timmons,
F.
as you're talking, you hear metal clang and bang. "I told you, Pa, I told you." And then you hear heavy footsteps. Boom, 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 boom. Kind of making its way out of the barn, and you see this thing step out in front of you. "Careful, Pa, careful." And the kid comes running around behind him with a shotgun. "You guys, you need to get on out of here. I don't care what my mama says."
This your paw? What is he inside the can?
You don't
Well, it's a
know.
pleasure to meet you anyway, Mr. Conway.
This thing looks at you, Jeb, and it brings one arm up. Let me describe this. You see the boy, and he's talking to a huge steam-powered behemoth, armed with a Gatling gun and a claw. So one of his arms is a claw, and one of them's a Gatling gun. And you see this thing bring that Gatling gun up and point right towards you, Jeb.
Yeah, Jeb's gonna jump to the side and pretty much fall prone.
Is it right in front of Timmons or next to Timmons or
They're right there.
Tim? Oh, it's over there. All right, so and the boy is behind it a little bit.
As a matter of fact, All right. And oh yeah, him. So
Now
yeah,
we didn't mean any harm. I mean, we tried to be polite after we were noticed.
Is everything all right over there?
Mm, I don't know if you would have seen Jeb
yeah.
doing
The
a
boy
dive.
is this boy is holding a lantern. Don't forget. So you
Oh,
can see
okay.
all this shit plainly now that they've come out from, from back in this part of the barn.
And I'll see him come out and be like, holy shit, I didn't know they made pieces of junk walk and talk.
Oh, that may have
So-
been a very bad thing to say.
You see this
He
thing
is he's very arrogant.
kind of
That's
puffs a
very
couple of times,
strange. Something.
and it raises its hand towards you with its Gatling gun on it, and then it lowers it again and raises the claw up, Albert. It goes like this at you.
Albert will go, I can do that too, and go like that.
Jeb's gonna kind of shout out to and say, "Hey, HG, you want to blow something up?"
HG never came out, did
Nope.
No, he's been watching them all from the safety of the barn door.
he? All right, so it's obvious this guy's
Blow
not going to
something
do
up.
anything to you. And Jamie, the kid is kind of spastic. He seems very uncomfortable with this whole thing, and then you start hearing him go, Paul, you need to get back in there. And this steam-powered thing, and you can definitely smell ghost rock burning. You guys that have smelled it before.
I'm sure that did. I'm surprised that didn't attract HG.
Smells ghost rocky.
Oh yeah. Well, raining, you didn't really smell it till you got right up to it.
I do love the smell of ghost rock in the morning.
So anyway, the kid tells you, yes, it's my paw. Don't hurt him. He can't fend himself.
What is wrong with him? This is weird looking. What did you do to this poor man?
Well, Timmons, now that you're looking, you saw this thing kind of with this hose and over by this barrel, and it looks like he was. I mean, obviously the hose is still in the barrel, and you go over and you kind of look in the barrel. It's a barrel of water. It's like he's taking on water, so that he can continue to function.
I think he's steam powered. He's a steam powered fella.
Giraffe.
Hey, do you have any mechanical parts there, boy? Since your daddy's a robot.
No, sir, I don't. What would you do with him?
You don't see your daddy's a robot?
Well, he seems to be working fine as a robot. It's not like he needs parts.
Was he always a robot?
No. He came here
So
and he writes notes to me in the dirt, and I know it's him because he knows things that it couldn't be if it wasn't him. Mama's got to believe me. Think I should tell her?
Your mama doesn't know about this.
Paul and I have been trying to figure out a way to tell her. And
Tell
you see
her
this thing
that's-
kind of do this.
Well, what your mama don't know ain't gonna hurt her.
Does she not go out to this barn because your father is quite large and steamy?
No,
This place looks like it's about to fall over.
Mama tells me to stay clear of this barn till it falls down. But Pa always said he was going to fix it, didn't you, Pa? And you see this thing nod its head up and down.
Well, Timmons wants to go look at it. You mind if I look at you? I never seen no mechanical paw.
As you approach him, he takes 2 or 3 steps back. Then he looks down
I
at
ain't
his
gonna hurt
son,
you.
and then you see he kind of comes out of the defensive position that he put himself into. So now he's just standing there. So if you wanted to walk around him and look at him, you could.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him the good once over. Timmons is like, this is impressive.
So you see a couple of panels that open up on it, and you kind of reach and you look at him. And do you mind? And he reaches over and just flips this little lever, and this panel falls open. And on the inside, you can see these rods going up and down. And then there's another panel down below it, and you open it, and it's got these small walnut-sized chunks of ghost rock in there. And then on the other side of him is another panel where you can open it up, and looks like a small boiler in here. And not that you're too mechanically inclined, it's full of a bunch of shit you just don't understand, Timmons.
Timmons has repair.
Oh, does he? Yeah, and he's got boating and all that shit too.
He's also boating, yeah. Here, I'll roll it, see how much Timmons understands it.
I'm good with pudding too, Timmons.
Timmons is like, I can make one of these.
Oh fuck! You don't know about making it, but you might be able to overhaul this one. And then there's another container. It's an access panel, and it's right here on the outside of its arm. And you open it, there's nothing in there.
Does it look like where the ammo would go?
So he raises his arm up, and then you see this barrel start to turn. Tick, 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 tick. And it's just ticking.
Kind of ammunition does he take?
Well, yeah. Tell that boy to bring that lantern a little closer. You start looking at it.
Come shine this in your dad's arm. Let's see what kind of bullets he needs. Maybe we might have some for him in case we got to go rabbit hunting or something.
Now, because you've been up close to this guy, give me a notice roll with at +2. On the inside of the door where the ammunition goes is a stamped nameplate. It's a little dark out here. You can't really make out what it says.
Get the lantern. Shine it on it.
Hellstrom Industries.
Hey.
Property of Hellstrom Industries.
Hey, this is one of Hellstrom's little mechanical devices. Do you know who Hellstrom is? Talking to the paw.
Oh, talking to the paw, he looks at you and he kind of shrugs his metal shoulder. He doesn't really shrug his shoulders.
You were made in a Hellstrom.
He lowers his head, which makes it look like he shrugs his shoulders, kind of like he doesn't know. He shakes his head. No, he doesn't know who Hellstrom is.
That's where you were made. By a Hellstrom. We met him. He has a flying mechanical thing like you.
So
And a train. And...
what I'll do here is we're going to pass some time, okay? We're going to pass about an hour, hour and a half, because there's a whole lot of writing in the dirt that this guy does to communicate with you. And after talking to him, you kind of gather he left the farm. Rob Conway left the farm over a year ago seeking work, but sadly he was ambushed. He remembers that part, but he doesn't remember much else except he woke up in a factory. And it was a long ways away. And he was pretty content with what he did. But he was on a train, and the train derailed, and there was a terrible accident, and it flung him out onto the desert floor. And when he stood up, he had memories that he didn't know that he had before. And basically memories of home, and he started on this walk back home.
I think we might have been on that train. We're behind that train.
Did HG derail this train?
No. But I think we were on this train.
I hear more flies. Jeb must be near.
I bet Hellstrom's got to pay a good reward for him. Because I could put a lot of work in.
As soon as you say this, that claw comes up and comes straight at you.
Uh-oh.
All right, so
I don't think you like that.
So yeah, that's it. You find this out, having a conversation with this for a little while, and pretty soon the kid realizes that you guys aren't going to hurt his dad. So he says, "I got to get back in, go to sleep, for Mama finds I'm gone. She always gets up to make the biscuits early in the morning," and then he runs back across the yard, just leaves you out here with this guy.
All right, we take him apart and put him in the wagon.
Wow.
Yeah, because he was thinking the same thing of taking the ghost rocket, or trying to
Turn him off.
Uh-huh.
So you guys are.
I'm sure Hellstrom it's good to get him back.
Timmons isn't doing that. I was joking.
I wasn't.
Albert might.
Well, as you guys are joking about it and you're looking him over like, could we take this apart? Everybody give me a notice roll.
I'm a greedy son-of-a-bitch.
Yeah, Jeb's not even in there with y'all. He's hanging back. You still want the notice roll, Marb?
No,
I'm pretty sure I could.
You're hanging back. You're out here in the rain and the trees. Or are you inside out of the rain at least? Did you guys go in the other barn and get out of this terrible old barn, or is that where you're at?
I think we're still here. We haven't left this old barn yet.
Right. Okay.
Well, it hasn't fallen down, so there must be some roof.
So Jeb, you're hanging out on the outside. So Timmons, you're the first one, and you can hear the whinny of a horse off in the distance.
Somebody's coming
from that direction.
From that direction. Timmons points that direction. Somebody's coming.
And yeah,
not that lantern.
Minute goes by, you don't hear anything else, and then you can hear again the sound of horse tack kind of clinking and rattling around, squeak of leather, somebody stepping out of a saddle, and you hear a voice, "You in the barn?"
Steps out. You talking to us?
Yes. You've got a piece
You
of
on the
property.
horse?
Got a piece of property that belongs to us. We've come to collect it.
Finders keepers.
Piece of property.
Excuse me? What was that? It is not your property. I hope you know that by law, that which you have belongs to our employer, Dr. Darius Hellstrom. He's a powerful man. Best you just let us gather up what we need.
I ain't never read this law. I'm pretty sure it's finders keepers. Now, we may be able to discuss some sort of return reward, but that'd be another matter.
That'd be between you and Mr. Hellstrom. You gonna give
Well,
up that property peacefully?
No.
That's what I was hoping you'd say. Let's draw cards.
I sure this doesn't belong to Mr. Conway?
Apparently not till we talk to Hellstrom, at least.
Just somebody come right out of the dark claiming
Oh
shit.
shit! Oh shit! I'm liking this already.
Is this person on the map anywhere?
So I'll get to draw a chip on that. It's just a voice. You hear a voice, but every now and then you guys that are looking out through over this wall in this old barn, you kind of see movement, and it's like you know there's more than one person out there, but you don't really see anybody yet. Nobody.
There
that
he
you
is. I'm outside. Do I see him?
Meow.
Let's see. What's your night vision?
I ignore dim and dark.
You ignore dim and dark completely?
Yep, and I get a +2 to notice. Visual notice.
Okay. Then give me that visual notice roll. I'm gonna add a bonus to it anyway. Cat's eyes +2, 8 plus. Not a problem. You realize that you're quickly being surrounded by a cluster of people. You can't count them because it's so fast. They're dodging behind these trees and shit. But you do see the guy who's been talking standing out here. And
I don't suppose I can get a not necessarily a surprise attack, but like a op shot type of thing.
Because you see him, you're just gonna up and pop off a shot. Well, you will when your time comes, when your turn comes. But I've got some people to move around here real quick, and that guy, he gets into place. That guy's gonna move to there. You see this guy. He's got a pistol, and it looks like he's getting it ready to go. And he aims up here. Gatling pistol's 3 shots, right? Wicked?
Yeah,
I don't know. It wasn't me. It was Kento that was using them.
yeah. I remember he used to roll 3 times, and then
Yeah, it probably costs 10 ammo, sort of.
2 of them would hit. I think 1 would always miss, and 2 would hit. I think.
Right, 2 of the 3 can hit, but he's going to roll at a -2 because you guys got. Well, first of all, you can each look over into the effects over there and put half cover on yourself. Those of you that are in the barn.
Well, let me ask this question: if we can't see them, how can they see us?
Because
Is
you
it
got a
not
lantern.
just as dark?
You've got a lantern.
We put the
sitting.
lantern out when we heard the horses coming. I said
Oh,
it.
did you say that? I didn't hear it. Okay, so you put the lantern out. Okay, well that changes things considerably. This guy's not going to do anything then. Doc Fong.
I mean, maybe a tiny bit of light coming from the boiler on Paw.
No, you don't see any light coming out of it.
Ghost Rock don't burn with no light or nothing.
Not inside of his torso there. Yeah.
No, we don't need to resort to any sort of violence. We can figure something out, I'm sure. Why don't you come in here and we'll discuss things like gentlemen?
Is that Chinaman talking? No, he can't see you, actually.
What gave it away? The Chinese accent? I'm assuming he has a Chinese accent, right?
Not much of one.
No?
No, and he's pretty eloquent in his speech.
He's been here for quite a while, so it's kind of a California accent more.
Well,
Hey,
if
surf's
you're
up,
from
dude.
Shan- If you're from Shan Fan, that doesn't help your story.
Yeah. Well, if you'd like to come in, I'm sure we can discuss it. I'm sure you have all the paperwork.
Why don't y'all just lower your weapon?
Why don't y'all come out of the shadows?
Yeah, come over here. We can discuss things. I have no weapons here.
All right, so I stopped combat because you guys have tried to negotiate with these people. Doc Fang has.
I'm saying they should be giving us at least $2,000 for this guy.
How loudly do you say
Son
that?
of HG. We ain't selling him.
I don't know. What about the family of the man? We should
the
probably
boy's
get them
paw.
involved in the discussion.
You can't sell the boy's paw.
Before we start thinking anything crazy here, you did see what Hellstrom did at that battle, right?
It was pretty cool, if I remember right.
I am unfamiliar with this. Could you tell
I
me more?
remember a
What
lot
did he do?
of people walking away from that. So we might want to take a little win and enjoy it. Like hell
HG might have
on earth. He rained death from the sky. It was biblical.
Biblical.
and
But he
Padre
ain't-
got around.
Is he here? Send
Yes.
Hellstrom up.
Dr. Hellstrom is not with us, sir.
Now, but if we leave that robot here, they're just going to keep coming with something meaner and meaner till he does.
It's true. Perhaps we could take him to Shanfan. I'm
He
sure he and the boy and the mother can find work there.
He sent us all the way from the city of Lost Angels. We've been tracking this
How
thing.
about boat? Tugboat?
Nope. But that's enough talk about us.
Did he send you with some paperwork, documents proving that this here is his?
I could show you on the inside of that machine right there that it does in fact belong to Dr. Hellstrom.
They just followed them big ass wheel tracks, though,
And
right?
how do we know that they're actually working for this Dr. Hellstrom?
That's true. If it belongs to this Dr. Hellstrom, we should only give it back to him direct.
I'm coming forward. And you see this guy step out from behind this tree out here, this little bush. Got his hands up in the air. He makes his way up to you. And he brings out a contract that is in fact signed by Dr. Darius Hellstrom, asking him to retrieve his property.
Does it specify this robot?
It is.
I think it's more like a Cyberman.
How do we know that it's this one and not a similar other robotic father?
If you came up to me and said that this is your shotgun, and I pointed at him, and you had a piece of paper that said return this shotgun, how do I know that? How do you know that this shotgun wasn't illegally purchased?
If you open
There's
up
lots
that
of
door
shotguns
on
like
his
this.
arm right there, you will see Hellstrom Industries stamped right on the inside, sir.
It does. It says it's manufactured by Hellstrom Industries, just like one of 500 of them. And it was legally sold to this boy.
He does present a point. I have a made by Mr. Colt, but I purchased it legally.
So, therefore, he's claiming everything he's ever made and sold is his personal belongings? I think he got shot too far
This one was not
in
sold.
his head.
This one is different than those sold on the market, sir. He is still under testing and could be very dangerous.
Oh, perhaps you can tell us more about what makes this one different.
It don't look no different than the last three we had.
This one has intellect and artificial intelligence.
How do you
Sorta
create
like
something
me.
like that?
I'm artificially intelligent.
Timmons, you're standing here next to, well, no, you're not standing next to him anymore. HG, you are. You're standing right behind him.
I'm standing next to him. Like there.
Okay.
Yeah, I would have actually come up to the robots or whatever the creature is and ask him if he is able to defend himself. Like just like in a whisper, so it could only like maybe HG and the doc could hear.
Artificial intelligence, that means he's worth a lot more than I thought.
As you ask him if he can defend himself, he looks at you very mechanically. Head swings around, and he takes that claw of his, and in the dirt at your feet, he writes the word empty, and then he points to that door in that access panel in his gun arm. You guys were trying to figure out what kind of bullets he takes when all this shit.
Well, when he points, I can get closer and try to take a look.
Yeah.
Can I tell anything about the caliber or anything?
Yeah, whatever a Gatling pistol takes. I think that's what he's got on him. Let me take a look at this thing here.
First, seeing how hard it would be to take his head off.
Let's say because maybe we can, if we have the weapons to or the ammo to load.
What the hell happened?
Or even with his.
Gallon pistol takes 45 rounds.
45 rounds.
So does a Gatling gun.
So I happen to have 2 Colt Peacemakers on me. Maybe I could load him up.
I happen to have a box of medium bullets, which are 45 caliber guns.
Where are they at, though?
Just in case the worst comes to worst.
Well, according to my inventory sheet, they're with my gun belt, which I'm wearing.
Very good. So, what? You start popping bullets out of your gun belt until you got a handful
Here,
of them or
perhaps
so?
you could.
Throw them in there?
Yeah. Here you go, friend. Perhaps you could use these.
Just in case worst comes to worst,
I'm staying
Clink, clink,
behind
clink,
it.
clink, clink.
You dump them bullets in there.
Sound like a gumball machine falling down in there.
Yeah, you dump those bullets in there and you, oh, what the hell is going on here? It's not working.
I hear machine gun.
Do you?
Yeah, I heard it.
Very faint. Very faint.
Well, I guess it's working. So, yeah, you hear him kind of, the machinery starts turning and you hear the gun kind of load itself. Click, 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 click. Zzz, and the barrel begins to spin around in circles.
Quite interesting. Now, do only use that for self-defense, of course.
and not us or.
Step in and close the door.
And I will ask him. I was like, just to kill them, the bad guys out there. The Chinaman here, he seems to be okay, so leave him alone.
Doc Fong and HG, I think you guys have all taken your action. But HG, you do see another access panel as you're standing behind this constructed Iron Man. Another access panel on the back of his cranium that you have not looked in yet.
So, be able to be assumable I could probably remove whatever is carrying this intelligence. Does it look like I could just open the panel, or would I need something?
You'd need, looks like a wrench or something. Undo some bolts. Yep. So we're going to come on down to Lyle Geary here. He says, "Gentlemen, I'm running out of patience." And you see him flip the leather thong off the hammer of his gun. And he puts his arm down next to his pistol. And he goes on hold.
Jeb's, when he sees this, he's gonna cock his Winchester. It's like,
It's not Jeb's
nothing
turn
funny
yet.
now.
Albert.
Albert will also pull out his pistol and cock it, and in case worse goes to worse, he will. I guess what was that? Put in hold is ready in action.
Yeah, you can right click on yourself in the combat tracker, and one of the options is to go on hold.
No, that's to go off a hold. At the bottom right side or bottom right corner of the combat tracker, there's a button that says hold.
Oh,
Right.
you guys have a different view than I do.
And actually, since I'm here, do I see this access panel in the cranium?
Oh, give me a notice roll and see if you do. Because you weren't really up there checking him out too much. Oh, well, shit, I gave you a -2 on it. You still, yeah, you absolutely see this access panel.
I like to open it and see if I notice anything.
Looking real closely at it, you know it's going to take a wrench.
Okay. Then I guess that would be my.
Got some bolts about the size of the end of your thumb. 4 of them holding this thing onto the back of his cranium.
Anybody have a wrench?
So at least half inch.
Yeah, at least half inch.
I got me a toolkit from the other barn. We may have a bit difficulty going and getting it.
And we'll tell the Rob Conway, the buddy here, that he might have to defend him.
Jeb Hexman, give me a notice roll. That is not going to be a problem. You turn your head as you see a guy coming out of the trees behind you, and he's walking straight towards you. And he's got his gun up, and he walks up and he sticks it right in your back. And he says, "There'll be none of that. Move your hand away from that sidearm, fella." And he goes on
I had
hold.
the rifle. I'm actually prone.
Oh, you're prone?
Yeah, when the robot thing pulled the Gatling gun up towards Jeb, he dove to the side and went prone.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
I thought I said it aloud.
Yeah, well,
yeah,
you got
did
it
say
on
you
there.
jumped out of the way.
Yep, you got it on there.
Yep.
So you're laying there prone, and he walks right up to you. So you got your rifle out in front of you, and this guy walks up, and
I'm kind of laying down.
he puts his foot right on top of the rifle and kind of drives it down into the dirt. So that's what he's going to use his action. So he is not on hold because he used his action to kind of push your rifle down with his foot. Let's see, this guy. We probably better just see how far these guys. I'm going to roll one. Okay, that's as far as any of them can run. I'm doing one pace roll for all of them.
Kind of curious why there's -2 on that, but whatever.
On what?
on the running roll. It says running -2.
Oh, it does. Oh, because I had -2 in the modifier. Well, shit.
Oh,
Well, anyway, they get 7. Okay, this guy.
I'm gonna blame it on being muddy.
yeah, I think it still would have been
Go
1.
through. Move these guys.
He stepped in mule poop.
That guy's fine. Timmons.
So what's the front of this building look like? Is there a door that can be closed?
There's
or-
like the front half of this building looks like it's kind of collapsed down. Again, the wall 4 foot up is stone, and then above that is a wooden frame structure. So where you're standing at, there's solid corners here and here. Part of the front wall is still there. There's a door here that obviously the door itself is gone, but the door frame is still standing.
So Timmons is gonna get cover behind part of that wall and door jam, and point his shotgun at Mr. Oh, he's got his foot at Mr. Fellow over here.
Yeah, this guy would
Lyle
be standing right here.
Yeah, I don't want to hit Jeb with my shotgun. So Lyle Gary is getting a shotgun pointed at him, and I'm gonna go on hold.
All right, you point your shot.
So I'm like, yeah, and he can clearly hear as both
Cocking them
barrels
hammers.
get cocked back.
Cocking them hammers. The rain continues to fall, and I don't know why my sounds are not. Let's see.
I stopped. I tried to stop the bullet sounds, but
There's a lot of machine gun sounds.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Let me
Still a
close that.
floor
and
in
open
this
it again.
barn.
It's just shooting
Or
going on
Jeb is just
everywhere.
really gassy after dying.
I'm sorry, Drake. I could not hear it. So if I'd have known that, I'd have probably turned it off too if it was shooting all the time.
Well,
I
I've been
restarted.
hitting the stop all sounds even, and it's been stopping the rain.
Is it still shooting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the hell?
it has my cat's attention.
I can't hear anything on this end. So I think Sirenscape must have had a problem. So if I find, let's see, steampunk weapons. Maybe if I stop that.
I'll just close out Sirenscape and restart it.
I heard the bless.
I think you got the bullet stop. Yeah, you did.
Okay.
That's what I was trying. Why?
All right, so
That was a juicy one.
so we've got to have some music. Got to have some music here. All right, so Rob Conway, the automaton. You see him step forward. You've armed him, and he steps out with a pace of 4. That's about as far as he can get. And he looks right at. Well, he wouldn't have walked that far. He wouldn't have got that. He just got around this wall. And he aims his Gatling gun at this guy. I think there's a -2 on the Gatling pistol. He fires 3 times at -2. 2 of them can hit.
I think it'll automatically apply the recoil, which is probably what that -2 is for.
Okay, so what? He puts 3
Should've.
actions in there?
Well, if it's like a normal attack roll like you see on a character sheet, you should be able to like right-click it and go to number of attacks and change it to 3.
What now? Character sheet.
If it's like the player character sheets, if you right-click on the attack, one of the options is # attacks,
Okay.
and you should be able to change it to 3.
# attacks, rate of fire 2. It's got all that in there already, so it's already says -2 on it. Okay. Yeah, it says, okay, very good. So I'll do this. One attack. Misses. Misses. And he misses as he steps forward.
I have a -6.
Wait, should he have a multi-action 3?
There's a -6.
Oh.
Holy shit.
Okay.
No, we shouldn't have.
No,
Yeah,
he
because
shouldn't
it's part of the weapon itself.
have. Right. Yep. I'm sorry, I had clicked that. Here we go again. Oh! That's a hit. That's a miss. So he got 2 hits out of it. But I can't do it that way, can I? No, I
What do you mean?
have to resolve each one of these separately.
Yeah, just roll the damage twice on them, and it'll automatically apply it in order.
Ooh. I can't allow that. Uh-oh. No, it says
soaked the
soaked,
wound.
but the trait roll was a natural 1. How does that happen?
Yeah, it doesn't.
Doesn't
Your
that-
wild
Well,
dice.
he rolled. He had high enough that it was a 4, but
Right.
if
It only
it's
matters.
one,
He's
then-
a wild card, so he rolls the wild die as well.
Alright, so he is shaken. And he is going to go off a hold and retaliate. Well, I guess I could have just applied that shaken. So he goes off hold. And I am spinning a chip to take shaken off of him. Move back up to him real quick. And he is going to do the same thing and fire 3 times with the Gatling pistol at the automaton. There's the first one to hit with a ray. And a hit. And I don't even need to roll the 3rd time.
Does he have a thing that he avoids the recoil? Because that one I didn't see the -2 on, but he might
Let's
just be
see.
skilled.
Combat Gatling pistol. No, he doesn't have a -2 on it. He is. Oh yeah, rock and roll.
Well, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he's got rock
Okay,
and roll.
yeah, then
He's
he
got the
would.
rock and roll edge. Okay, so that's 2 hits. Ooh. And that's a wound. And he's unharmed. Okay, now where were we at? Let me apply that. He took a wound, and he's shaken. And whose turn was it? That was,
Well,
I mean, it ended on Rob's.
and Timmons
Oh,
wants to
Conrad.
interrupt since he was on hold.
No, he's still technically shaken because I believe
Yeah,
Rob
yeah, I
fired
got
at
it,
him.
I got it. All right,
But Timmons,
Timmons goes off hold, did you say?
Yeah.
All right,
I'll allow it.
So, what's that?
I'll allow it.
So the double barrel blast shotgun, since he did his thing.
Oh shit!
Boom!
Oh shit!
Dodge
Rock.
that, bitch!
ow!
As I blow its head off. 4 wounds.
pretty much. And since he already had, no, he didn't have a wound. He's soaked.
No, he was shaken. He
You know
was
what?
shaken, but then I think
He's gonna try. He's gonna try to shake that off. He's got to.
No, he spent a thing to unshake.
yeah,
Earlier.
he stokes one.
So you rock him backwards on his feet. Boom! Both barrels at the same time. He fucking goes backwards about 5 or 6 feet. Looks down at himself. He's got blood starting to ooze out of the front. And we are with Jeb Hex.
I'm basically gonna release my hold on the rifle and kind of in a rolling type of motion, pull out my, I think I have a knife. Yeah, I have a Bowie knife. And try to attack this guy that's stepping on my Winchester.
Stab him in the thigh.
With the Bowie knife. Nice.
Oh,
I think I want to Benny that damage if I can. I don't remember how we ruled on that.
I don't think we allowed bennies on the damage, but I'll allow you to spend a red chip or a blue chip and add to it.
to get a chip to the
But I
GM.
won't allow you to re-roll.
Gotcha.
So
in that case, I think I will use a red chip, and that's a D6, right?
that means I do get. Yeah, it's a D6. Oh.
Hell. So
we'll add
16.
11.
So it's a minor stab, and there goes his femoral artery.
That's 2 wounds, of which I will use the chip that you just so gratefully gave to me and fail. And so he applies 2 wounds. You stick this guy right in the fucking thigh. Boom! And he definitely pulls his foot back away from your gun. Anything else, Jim?
I'm gonna grab my gun and stand up.
Okay.
You'll have to remove the prone status, however.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
He
Then I'm gonna back
took
up.
4 wounds, and then he rolled the soak. He
1.
soaked all 4 wounds.
No, he soaked 1 wound.
So then he had 3 wounds, and you just did 2. How many wounds can someone take?
I know he
No,
stabbed
no.
the other guy.
Yeah,
Wild cards
the
can
other
take
guy.
3
okay,
wounds.
Okay, I got it.
yeah.
So-
Stand up with my rifle and move a little bit this way.
And because
So
he is
Loud
shaken,
Gary has 3 wounds.
I'm sorry, what?
he's shaken. He can't He can't take an op shot at you.
Correct. I just couldn't hear both of y'all talking.
Oh, what'd you say, Drake?
I said, Lyle fellow there's got 3 wounds. I was just
Right.
keeping track.
Oh.
Now, before we go any further, I drew a joker.
Again.
But they didn't. No, last round. So, I need to clear the
Looks like
hands.
it reshuffled automatically.
Did it?
Hold
Fuck.
on, I think. Yes, look in the fucking chat.
Jokers were dealt last round, reshuffling. Alright, so let's see. Hellstrom's got, those guys got a 2. I can't pull them cards out of there.
Well, just give us a joker. That'll balance it out.
Well, let's see. Nothing before it's but to deal again. Oh, look! Hellstrom Retrieval Squad got another joker. Okay.
I'll call mannequins on that.
Suspicious.
So we will let it shuffle. And did it say it
Different
reshuffled
colored
that time?
jokers do different things.
Why did it
It'll-
go past me?
It will reshuffle when it gets to the end of the round and to a new round.
Yeah, I did. I
That's
moved
what
it to
happened.
the end of the round and then I passed it and it did not shuffle the cards.
It says jokers were dealt last round, reshuffling deck.
That was the time before.
Oh,
But this time it didn't say that it moved from the one round to
Oh,
the
wait a
next.
minute. It didn't. Huh. There we go. Now what did it say? It said jokers were dealt, reshuffling, good deal. Hellstrom's got an ace though. They had a 2 last time, so that bunch. Doc Fang.
All right. Well, he's gonna pull out his revolvers and then go on hold because this guy looks like he's dying and he doesn't really see anyone else very well.
Yeah, this guy's pretty fuckered up right here.
Hey, Timmons blew his lips off because he was lying.
That guy
He's
moves
just a
forward.
big smile now.
And because I've got the global effect on, I can just do this. He's still got some cover.
You can remove that red pointer, it would help too, Marbanya. Hell, you're already on top of it.
That guy's going to move up to there.
Oh, it was Albert.
Jeb, you see this guy come walking out of the gloom, and he points his pistol at you. And you hear the the mechanisms begin to spin and churn.
Ping, ping.
And it's dark. It should have been dim light for him, so maybe some of those would have hit, but too bad.
Let's see. Looks like the first and the last one would have hit if that were the case. If he was to ignore.
He would
to
still
the
would have had
thing.
-2 though for being dim.
Yeah. But
Okay,
yeah,
what's
that
your
would have met
toughness?
my
Or your
parry. It's well with the ranged, I get a +2 for dodge.
okay.
So it's a
So
the first and the last
still would have.
hit.
Oh, they would have hit. Okay,
Yes.
so 2 of them hit.
You did roll an 8 and a 9.
But you end up dodging. Wait a minute. How the hell did that do anything to you?
Because my toughness is crap at the moment.
Oh, that's right. That's right. All right, Jeb. So we'll apply the first one you're shaking. And you take a wound. Would you like to try to soak that?
I think I would.
Wow.
Not a problem.
No problem. This guy steps out from behind the trees over here at the very end of his move. And he will have, if I just put a +2 in here,
It should counteract the -4,
right?
or at least a little bit.
All right. That'll be a miss, though. Boy, there's some lag with that.
Mm-hmm. It's probably
That's-
Sirenscape.
Probably. And that'll be a miss. So this guy sees you as he pops out, but he can't get his gun around in time, and you're dropping down low and taking off running, trying to get away from him. So miss.
No, I'm kind of doing that cartoon thing, dodging the bullets.
Yeah, dodging a bullet.
Remo Williams.
This guy's gonna stay put. He's not too sure what's going on up there. And we come to Albert.
All right, all right. Can I see? Do I have line of sight on this Lyle?
You do. It's dim or it's
All right.
dark, but that'll figure in automatically.
So, being that this is my first combat, I have an edge called Marks. It says, I'm a natural with ranged weapons. If I don't move in a turn and fires no more than a rate of fire of 1 as my first action, can add a +1 to an athletics or shooting roll or ignore up to 2 points of penalties. How does that exactly work?
Okay. See the down where your dice are, you see the little marshal's badge with a 0 in the middle. I want you to put a +2 in there because you can ignore 2 points of penalties. So instead of me taking the global effect off of everybody of darkness, just put a +2 in there to negate the difference. And then go ahead and shoot.
Right, or you can say you want to shoot his arm, and you wouldn't have the -2 penalty for shooting at a limb, under the Appendix A called shots, so you can use that to your advantage.
Okay, so yeah, I will take a shot at this Lyle guy.
That's a hit.
It hits. Cool. So 10 minutes.
Wow.
Nice.
Very nice. That's 2 wounds. And
Fucker. And I do believe that is. I don't think I have 2 attacks. I don't.
it doesn't matter because when you hit this guy, you have to paint the picture now, Gorgio. You've probably seen that on a stream before. You hit this guy and you just, yeah. So we can roll on the injury table to see where he was hit because you didn't call the shot. So the injury table says that you hit him in the core, right in the stomach. So paint that picture.
So I'll pull up my gun and say, I'll look over at the Chinaman and I'll say, because he's a dick, and he says, I will show you guys how to do this. And enough playing around, I'll pull out my gun, point it right at him, shoot him in the stomach, and it barely misses his head, and it just right
Right in the chest.
Nice shooting.
and it sprays blood everywhere. And it almost got some onto Rob Conway because it was such a good squirt.
And that guy's gone.
And then I will. That's all. And in my turn.
Timmons is gonna pop the empty shells out, pop 2 more in, swivel around, and go boom at that next guy.
The one that I
Heather-
stabbed ankle.
Yeah, the one that's got a knife wound in his leg. He's about to have a shotgun blast to the
Did you
head.
take an edge that allows you to quick reload, or are you taking a penalty on?
It's a -2 to reload, and
Yeah,
I get a
st-
+2, so I'm
Yeah,
I'm
you're
not
breaking even.
adding
Gotcha.
anything. Yep. And how about a 4? That's a hit. Nice. Boom!
Boom.
2 more wounds.
Yeah, I'll
Shouldn't
try
you
to
have just
shove
named
them.
him Eobard Thawne?
What's that?
Shouldn't you have just named that NPC
Fail.
Eobard Thawne?
Ever
I'm,
heard?
I'm glad somebody got that.
I got it.
What?
He was like hobbling around where he got stabbed in the leg, and Timmons blows his other leg off, the good one.
Yep. Incapacitated. Let me pull him out of there. He's bleeding out. Cool. HG.
She's gonna
Serves
run
right
and
for sneaking up on folks.
jump up on the back of this automaton, using it as cover.
Yep.
And then I'm going to launch a mortar round into the air from there
Okay.
and just rain fire on these two. I'm expanding the.
All right.
Damage
Unfortunately, that
to-
is the only 2 in that circle. So you're just going to spend an
Oh,
extra point and expand the damage range. Very good. Yeah, and Gorgio, so the way this is
Hello.
working is he's spending power points. We talked about power points and arcane powers. He's got weird science, so he mixes concoctions and shit. And then you can spend extra power points to do different things to it. Go ahead, HG.
Excellent.
It's gonna do the lingering effect so that the area burns so that we can see them. Hold on.
A little bonfire action going on.
Put AP on
Cook
it.
some wingies.
I'm gonna
That's
go ahead and
nuts.
move.
Oh.
And spend my red ship.
And add to it.
Look, I hit.
Okay, let's see. You were throwing it at those two. That is 77 and 12. So we add 2 to that. Wait a minute.
It'll be a 5, so
there
it'll
we
be hits.
I'll
it.
successfully do it. Yeah, I only needed the one.
Well, that was really shitty damage.
Yeah.
By the way, I think they fixed the thing where you can have multiple targets and roll the damage all at once. I think.
I have to click it the number of times and go through. It's the way it's been doing.
Oh, okay.
So can we see these guys now that the area is on fire?
He lit the yard up, and when he did, I'm going to give you this.
Pop and napalm just kind of rains from the air on them.
It's a good place to make some bacon.
Jeb ate it all.
Hey, Timmons, do we still have marshmallows in the wagon?
Where the hell's he at?
Not my bacon.
I don't see.
It ain't
This
me.
other good dude ain't here, man. Okay, so this guy, I'm going to apply this, and he is incapacitated, so he's gone. And there he is. So yeah, it lit it up out there, and you can see those guys. You could for a split second, but it's still dark. Jeb.
I left continual flame, so it's going to burn
okay.
up through next.
All
They'll
right.
take another 4 damage too as well later.
Gonna pull up the Winchester and take a shot at this guy.
It's a hit.
It's a wound. Is he gonna try to soak?
No, not these mooks.
All right. And then I will technically end my turn, but I'm playing this adventure card.
Okay. So
this
go ahead and
time
take another
I'm going
turn.
to be. Yep. This time I will be taking 2 actions. One on the guy down here.
Smith.
Damn. And then, whoops, under him. And the other shot to this guy. Oh, damn it.
Damn.
Wait, hold on. Yes, I can move 6. And then I will move back up, kind of to cover, sort of. But don't worry about adding cover bonus because it doesn't stack with dodge.
All right. This guy moves his full pace, which is 4. And he's going to take, he sees this guy off here in the woods. And he's going to take 3 shots at him. Which probably missed. Oh.
Ooh.
Hit with the raise. And I hope it didn't just mess that raise up. That was a miss. Okay.
No,
so
it doesn't.
No, it's still there on the
Alright.
combat tracker.
So I'll remove the 2 misses, which should give him, well, a wound. And that guy goes down. So you see this thing, his arm comes up, the pistol, the mechanism begins to spin, pow, pow, pow. And actually it fires about 10 shots. I was reading rate of fire. A rate of fire of 3 means you fire about 10 shots. 2 of those 10 can hit, but you know, you only rolled a hit for 3 of them. So it's like pow, 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 pow. And you see this guy just kind of stagger off to his left-hand side and collapse to the ground.
Still burning?
To interrupt afterwards.
Okay, let's see. Did somebody have
I didn't get to go.
You didn't have. Well, how come it didn't warn me that you had an interrupt? That's weird.
I did. It said it up there.
I don't see it on my chat.
Neither do I.
You must have interrupted before it, or you must have went, come
Oh.
off
Yeah,
a hold and then it
it was
didn't warn.
during-
Yeah. Okay, go ahead and take you wanted to interrupt, so go ahead and take an action.
Don't forget to -2 it for the to take care of the Joker bonus.
I shall. So to go forward, do I need extra movement because of this partial wall?
You would have to kind of Dukes a hazard over the thing, So yeah.
I think he's a little too old to vault over a 4-foot high wall when he's like 5'1".
Yeah, it's pretty
That
tall.
might-
It's 4-foot tall wall. You're 5'1", right?
He very
Is there a-
sprite, though. He very sprite. Hop over.
All right. I'll come down this way towards the door and
He Chinaman
prepare to go out.
very straight size. He's straight. So you move down
Timmons
here.
is kind of next to the
Oh,
door.
I got one more movement, so I'm gonna step out here.
Timmons trips him. I'm kidding. Okay.
All right, and then that will be his last turn.
Give me a notice roll. Okay. All right, and now it's going to be your turn again.
All right. Well, I see that there's some fire over that way.
And but as you step out, I want you to give me another notice roll at +2.
Wow.
Damn, shit.
Well, apparently, I had something in my eye up
Hubble.
until now.
I can see through the Hubble telescope.
All right.
I think it is the Hubble telescope.
I can see sounds. What have I been putting in my pipe? Oh,
I'm still missing one though. Who's
He got lost in the dark. You can't just turn them all off and turn them all back on.
Yeah, I can now.
Here you go.
There. So, you with that roll, you see these 3 guys kind of moving up on you over here.
ha! So he's gonna take a step forward, then turn towards them, and take some shots.
With the Joker bonus. Whoa.
Shit.
Okay.
The hell with the darkness, right?
Oh, that just landed on its edge and sat there for a minute. All right, so let's see. Yeah, that guy goes down.
And then with my left hand, I'm gonna shoot his friend.
Okay.
All right, so apparently I can't roll above a 2 on notice until right now, but now everything's going good.
All right.
Don't complain.
So he's gonna walk out the door, see these guys here, turn, and just simultaneously shoot each of them with a separate gun.
Bang, bang. Very nice. Nicely done, Doc Fang.
And then he's gonna say, "There's still another one." Go over here towards the automaton with the rest of his movement.
Okay.
Give me a second.
All right.
And does that get rid of my cover then?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would think so.
I would give you, light cover with these two guys, but none with this guy.
Okay. But I can't take it off me, so I'm mentioning that I have cover on me still.
How many rounds of ammo did you dump in him earlier? 10?
I put 20 rounds.
Okay. So he gets one more shot. And he turns, let's see, he's got 3 targets. 2, 3, 2, 4, 6. Oh, he moves that way. And targeting this dude, poor sucker. That's it. Well, he can't hit shit. Jeb.
I'm up. I'm guessing the wall or whatever's in the way to see the one on the east side, correct?
This guy? You don't know he's there.
Right. Other than Bong said that there was another guy.
Yep. He did say that.
He's
You are
gonna-
correct.
Where exactly he is, he didn't specify, so.
Right. I just know that there's another guy. I'm just not sure where. But I'm gonna take a shot at this guy.
Yes,
Wow.
you are.
Apparently, what a heck.
Damn. Poor fucker.
And I think I'll just stay put right there.
All right. HG. So HG, you see Jeb step out here. I got you, bastard. Pow! And you hear this guy go, oof! And then the unmistakable sound of a body hits him.
I'm gonna go on hold.
Okay. Help!
Dear old Alberts will come out over here. And he's a little too far away. I guess I'll put it on hold as well in case something comes closer and I can shoot at him.
We're so sorry, Uncle Albert.
Should
Alright.
be. And I'll yell at that guy like, stop being a bitch and come up and get some.
This guy is, no doubt about it, running for his horse.
Pansy.
And you hear the horse whinny and start to kick the dirt around as he jumps into the saddle and prepares to ride. And this guy
Who's
doesn't
riding?
know that's happened yet.
The guy who was in the far south.
Oh, okay.
So actually, he wouldn't move that far. He'd move to here. So he'd get a good shot on old Fong right there. That's him. That is a terrible miss. And that is a miss.
I was about to ask, how was that a miss? And then I realized that it had cover on.
They're dark. Well, it's dark too. It's got darkness.
Yeah. No, he's also behind cover, apparently. At least according to the effect.
Who? Fong?
Yeah, I did say it still had cover on me. I couldn't take it off.
Oh. I'm not hearing the stuff you guys are saying because this shit is like too much in my ears.
Oh, turn it down.
I did, damn you, Minnow. So the second shot was a
9 and a 7. Would a 7 would have hit or no?
The first one would have hit, but I don't think the other two
the
would
first
have.
one. What's
Yeah,
your?
it looks like the other two would have missed.
Yeah. Okay, so where are you at here, Doc Fong? Doc Fang. You know
I am
what?
at the
Fuck
top.
it. Up. Timmons.
Timmons is gonna come scooching around the corner and give this guy both blasts of his shotgun. Actually, I don't know this guy's out here though, do I?
Well, I'm sure you heard the
You heard
bang
some
funk say.
gunshot from
Yeah.
You probably peeked
He did
around
shoot
the
a
corner.
Gatling
Alright,
pistol
so-
like 10 feet away
Well,
from you.
He's gonna do 2 actions. He's gonna come running out. Can I do a run and 2 actions or no?
That's
Yeah,
3
it'd be
actions.
considered a.
Yep, you can do
All
up to
right,
3
so
actions.
so that's what he's gonna do. He's gonna, as he's come running out. What did he get on his run?
Got 11 total movement.
11. So
So you
As he's
charge like
running
the
out-
Kool-Aid man.
he's gonna take a shot
Oh,
to the
yeah.
left on number 23 with 1 barrel.
All right.
And then when he gets to the end of his pace, he's going to do the other barrel. And that's still within short range, so it's not going to affect anything. And
Well, the range will automatically be added. Range will automatically be calculated. So you.
yeah,
It'll-
but I'm saying it's still within short range, so it doesn't matter. I was a lot closer when I pulled the trigger, you know.
Gotcha.
So here goes the first barrel. Ba-boom!
Hmm.
And I want to burn a white chip and re-roll that again.
All right. Probably pretty good use of a white chip, I'd say.
As he tries that again. And
Hmm.
freaking that time did it even worse. So I shoot between his legs with the first shot. And the important one is this guy
You got both of them
with
targeted.
the second shot. Yeah, let me untarget the other one. And go boom! Damn
Damn.
it, Timmons.
So
Well,
the
I'll use another white chip on him.
Running 4. Okay. Now.
And burn a red chip on top of that.
Okay, you can.
You don't want him to get away, do you?
Shit, no, he's going to go tell Hellstrom.
I drew a chip from the bag, but it's probably not going to matter because we are about to end this session for the night anyway. So
Is it a D6 that I roll?
D6.
So a 4
Boom.
that hits.
Yep.
Okay, and which one is so? Wait a second. Which guy is
87.
he? 87. So
Squad 87.
let me get rid of this and this. And this attack is a 4. That's a hit.
And there's the damage.
Yeah. You obliterated this fucker. I mean, like a cloud of wet red mist just sprays in the air.
Wow. Seriously?
Is the horse okay?
HG and
then,
Albert's on. Oh, Timmons, you still? No, you passed it, didn't
No, I passed my turn and I drew a Joker.
you? But HG and Albert are still on hold, and it still did not warned me of the whole. Anyway, you guys gonna stay on hold?
Yeah, I was just waiting for someone to come closer because I'm not going into the ring right now.
So Timmons.
So this guy, he blows him off the horse, right?
Oh yeah, blows him off the big old hole in his
He
side.
turns around, pops 2 shells back out of his, stuffs 2 more in, and comes walking back towards this guy. And he says, "When you see Hellstrom, when he catches up with you later in hell, tell him he ain't getting his shit back." And he blasts him with both barrels of a shotgun.
Jingo the Fool, raiding with 4, caught me with my mouth open. Or full. Hey, Payne.
And completely blows his head
Holy
off
shit.
of his body.
Wow.
Yeah, paint that picture, Drake.
7 of 'em.
So yeah, he walks up, gets close to him, popping 2
Son of
shells
a
out,
bitch.
stuffs 2 in, cocks it, and says, "When you see Hellstrom later, when he catches up to you
Thank
in
you,
hell,
Jingo.
tell
Heart
him he
attack.
ain't getting his machine back." And his head just mystifies, and his
Right off
body
his head.
wanders around for a couple of seconds, still holding his auto pistol out, and then falls over. A couple of rounds go off.
And with that,
37. Damn, I think that's the most he's ever done.
we are out of combat. I'm going to apply that 7 wounds to the poor mook. He's gone. And Gorgio, good to have you on the table tonight.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having
And Gorgio got.
Even though I woke up late.
That's all right. I knew we had a lot of role play.
Timing.
Yeah, it was. It was perfect timing. We had a lot of role play because I also had to introduce new characters of existing players, so it was perfect timing. Perfect timing. Anyway, with that, our session has come to an end. So I hate that you guys just got here, Jingo and Rilvis, Semiranex.
Oh, they ended
Hey,
their
Payne.
game before before we.
Yep, you probably would have got raided by us had we ended just a few minutes earlier, but
Well, who can we take the raid to if you want to? You
We're
want to take it
going
over to Duff?
Diablo Bob said something about doing some sort
I
of.
see Diablo
You can
Bob's
raid
there.
Bob's stream.
yeah, but Bobby's coding. I mean,
Yeah.
people don't. Yeah, I think we'll do that. We're gonna run over and we're gonna raid Duff. He was kind enough to pop in here and give us a subscription tonight. We've got a subscription. So Jingo and Duff both awarded your play. You guys did great. Good role play. Good interaction. Hopefully you enjoyed it, Gorgio.
I did.
We will be hot and heavy next week. What we're going to do, we're going to pick up with this. Let me give you something to think about. You now have 8, 9, 10. You have 10 dead bodies, all Hellstrom agents, and 10 horses. So you're going to have some cleanup to do because you can get like hung for horse thieving and stuff like that. So
How hungry are you, Jeb?
could you eat a horse or 10?
At least one horse.
I say we put the bodies on each of their horse and slap their ass and send them to the home.
So you'll have
Then we ain't
horses.
stole nothing,
Well,
and we ain't got no bodies to worry about.
with all the bodies, we do have pigs. We are on a pig farm.
He does have a point. That was mentioned earlier.
Yeah, and you guys could use a couple more days before you head back to Shanfan. You'd like to give it about a week anyway, so maybe you'll slowly clean things up. However, with that and all the gunfire and stuff, Mama Conway comes to the door, and of course her son, right behind her, Jamie,
Timmons did it.
and they're looking out. You can see the lantern kind of lighting up behind them. They're looking out at you. So we're going to leave it right there. We're going to leave everything on a map as it is. We'll pick up
Timmons
here
did
next
it.
week. You guys think about what you want to do to get rid of this mess. And Albert, you've got some thinking to do about your initial task. But thank you, everybody. Rovis just got back from the store. Tomorrow night, Curse of Strahd, DM Fenric, right here on the Marbanya channel. Saturday night, Descent into Avernus on Rob Tui's channel with DM Drake Takes right there. Tuesday night, Saturday night, and then Tuesday night back on Drake's stream for Call from the Deep. And in Gorgio, check out his channel, check out his streams, because this guy's a beast. He does 12 hours of streaming on Saturday.
Oodle.
Oodles of streaming.
Yep. 8 games. I DM 8 games, and I plan 2 in 5 days.
So that's why you needed a nap.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, thanks for coming by, though.
All right, stream. We'll catch you later. Bye-bye.
Yeah, let me.
Or at least like several of them the same
ready to
game.
raid. Stick around. Praetoria's Rejects. We're gonna go see Duff for a second.
Yay.
Yeah, here we go. Raiding with 5 viewers ready to raid, 7 viewers ready to raid, 11 viewers ready to raid. Here we go. 13, 15. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow night. Tell them bye.
Ding, ding.